of illegal
Okay,
immigrants
how?
come
And what
by
did she
letting
do,
vote.
or what did Joe Biden do that allowed that to happen?
Biden and Harris administration told the states to open the border.
Do
And
you
you
have
heard
any?
about,
Wait, what? The states don't control the border. The border is federally controlled.
you
So
heard about state of Texas, right?
I'm
The
familiar.
governor Abbott, right?
Yeah, but just to be clear, like you can't tell states to open the border. The states do not control the borders.
Look,
Do you
first
know
of
that?
all, look, other things that you're telling me is like okay, confusing. But look, here's the thing: the president has the power to close the border, right?
The president does not have the ability to just like say, "Oh, I'm going to shut down the border now."
1763 Act, right?
What?
About all the presidents could have an executive order to close the border immediately,
That's not.
right?
The president doesn't have the ability to just shut down a border.
They could. Even Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, had said they passed a bill to
Yeah. So
close the
Speaker
border
Mike Johnson
immediately.
saying something doesn't mean that
They
it
sent the
actually is
bill
real.
to Chuck Schumer, and Chuck Schumer is
Oh my God, this is so
the bill
painful.
is sitting there collecting dust.
So you're telling me that the
Right.
president right now can shut down the border? Okay, so at least we got there. The president right now cannot shut down the border, and I couldn't care less what Mike Johnson says if he's currently sitting there blocking immigration reform right now. So the point is that there's no law or no power that's just given to the president of the United States where they can just say, you know what, today I'm feeling like shutting down the border. I just want to shut it down. No more. That doesn't make any sense.
You don't see
It
that
makes no
crime is
sense.
happening?
We don't have kings. We don't have dictators in this country.
We're not talking about dictators. We're not talking about kings. We're talking are the U.S. president and former president of the United States, right? Look, first of all, look. I'm so glad I'm speaking to you right now. Okay, they passed the bill to close the border, right? The Republicans, right?
No.
They sent the bill to Chuck Schumer.
No.
Chuck Schumer could send the bill directly to Joe Biden.
That
We
Chuck
have to-
Schumer does not have that power, by the way.
Look, Chuck Schumer has the document. They could send the document to the White House. For they could tell Joe Biden, "Hey, Joe Biden, wake up,
What
Sleepy
the fuck
Joe."
are you even saying right now? This is so goddamn crazy. It's like, just to be clear, there's a bipartisan agreement on immigration. Democrats and
Bipartisan law,
Republicans wrote the
exactly.
bill, and the Democrats were like, "Hey, let's pass this bill," and then Donald Trump called up the Republicans and told them to kill it, and then they did.
And they could, Biden and Harris administration could sign the bill, and that's all. The border will be closed, affected immediately, no matter what, no matter the cost. Am I correct?
What bill are
Harry?
you citing right now? Because we the Democrats and the Republicans came to an agreement on a bill, and
Exactly,
the
they
Republicans
voted for it.
rejected
They
it.
voted and they passed the bill, but they waiting until
Did you,
Biden to
hey,
sign the
excuse me?
bill.
Hey, excuse me. Did you hear what I just said?
Yes,
So the
I
Democrats and
understand.
the Republicans came to an agreement on a bipartisan immigration bill, right? And we're just waiting on the Republicans to actually want to pass it. So why are you bringing up HR2, which I think the bill you're referencing is, as opposed to this bipartisan agreement on immigration, which would solve the problem?
It will solve the problem really, really fast. Look, Harris trying to give millions and billions.
Wait, can you answer the question? What I just said to you? Like it's almost like we're speaking different languages right now. Like I'm saying something to you and you're talking about something entirely different. So can you just respond to what I just said?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So basically and technically, I don't know that kind of answer. I don't know the kind of answer that to respond to you, but all I could know if Trump has said that Harris is the vice president, right? And Biden is the current president of the United States. They could have the ability to close down the border immediately.
So they don't have the power to just quote unquote shut down the border. That's not within the president of the United States power. Certainly not within the power of the vice president. But just to be clear, the Democrats and Republicans tried to pass a bipartisan immigration bill. The Republicans rejected it. And right now, apprehensions at the border are currently lower than they were under Donald Trump in 2021. Did you know that?
Yes, we could see the immigration map that the Border Patrol president had released to the public, had released to Donald J. Trump, right? Even every single time, whenever I see Donald J. Trump campaign, he always put the chart, right, about all the immigration.
Yeah, that chart actually shows border crossings going up under him.
That's not true. That's not true.
Do you want to show you the chart? You're gonna Google it.
Nonsense.
So you see this?
Yes.
This is the chart you're talking about, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yo, JW, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate that, man. That's very kind. So, you see 2021?
Exactly.
And you see how it was going up before Trump left office? See, this is actually marked incorrectly. Donald Trump didn't leave office in 2020. He left office in 2021, in January 2021. So if you look at that little J in there, in 2021, apprehensions of the border, encounters of the border, people coming across the border was going up under Donald Trump. And then Biden inherited the system that Donald Trump left him. So the graph you're citing shows immigration or undocumented immigration going up under Donald Trump. And right now, the numbers are lower than what they were under Donald Trump in 2021.
Because see, right, 2021 all the way to 2024, you can see all the immigration, all the migrants.
We're not. Okay, goodbye. I mean, we're seriously like. It's like I say something and he's like, well, you know, he pivots to another thing. Aiden, thank you for the $2. Thanks for all that you do. Sorry, this is all I can give. I'm a full-time student. It's been rough under Trump's tax plan. I love that. Can't wait for Kamala to get in office. Aiden, please, my man, save your money. I appreciate you being here. Abby, thank you for the sunglasses. And thank you for being a student, working hard. I know you are. You're killing it, man. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. Heather, thank you for the $20. You rock. Heather, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's incredibly kind. $20. Are you kidding me, Heather? Thank you. I appreciate that. Peyton, thank you for the $5. Whole family voted for Kamala in South Georgia today. That's amazing. Whole family as well. The whole family's going out, making a day of it in South Georgia. You love it. Thank you so much for doing that, Peyton. Daisy, thank you for the $1. Your account helped me meet rent. Thank you so much. Of course, Daisy, I'm glad I could help. And Logan, thank you for the $5. You should be adding me back on Snapchat, Logan. Maybe I'll start doing that. Maybe I'll start adding people back on Snapchat. Why not? Why not? All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk. And you can tell me why on earth you're MAGA. Oh, look at this guy. This guy looks interesting. He has a skull in his shirt. Hopefully he's still here. I'm not sure if he is. Oh, he is. Okay.
No,
right,
I'm here. I'm here.
Hello.
Hey, Harry, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
So I was on a live with the older millennial before you and your little crony, and he's got him fucking banned.
What?
You heard me.
You're trying to blame me for getting him banned? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm blaming your influence.
Okay. I mean,
So
I never
today,
told anybody. I didn't even know he was live. I
Okay,
don't know how
well,
you could
today,
possibly put that out.
okay, well, let's talk. I met President Trump today for
I'm
the
so
fourth
sorry.
time.
I'm so sorry.
And no, we're talking man to man, right?
No,
You're a
I'm
man,
telling
right?
you, I'm so sorry. That's awful. I'm sorry I had to go through that.
So I met him in 2017 in Poland when
Oh.
I was serving there.
Terrible. I'm so sorry to meet him twice. That's awful.
Harry, what have you done with your life for this country besides try and fuck it up?
I mean, I'm 22, so I don't know what you. I mean, do you want me to like be a multi-billionaire by now or something?
No, dude, you're getting paid to spread the wrong message from
Who am I
George
getting-
Soros
who am I getting
and all
paid
those
by?
others.
Who am I getting paid by?
Your property management company, bro. Who's ever your management company.
My property management company.
Whoever your management company is that provides your service. Yes, you have an
Okay,
agent.
so why
of
would my
talent, yes.
management? Why would my management company be
So
paying
no,
me?
no. Answer the question. Do you have an agent? Yes or no?
Yeah, I have a manager. Yeah.
Okay, exactly. And that person gets you paid by doing this.
But why would my management team
Am I
pay
wrong?
me?
No, answer
So wait,
the
you
question.
can't keep saying answer the question. Just listen for a second. Why
Okay, well, let's hear it.
why would I get paid by the management team? You understand how management works, right?
So you do this for free? So you do it for free?
No. So I get paid like through
So
TikTok,
you get paid, right? But
no,
you
I get paid through like TikTok.
Bullshit.
So I get paid
You
through
get
like
paid to
TikTok and
spread
stuff.
bullshit.
If listen, man, if you can't stop talking, we're not going to be able to have a conversation, right? I'm trying to be nice. I'm like even trying to be respectful and let you speak.
By all means.
Okay.
By all means.
So it would make no sense for my management team to pay me, right? It makes more sense for me to pay them. Just like when an athlete has an agent, does the athlete pay the agent for their services, or does the agent pay the athlete?
No, but your agent is finding you talent through like the DNC, and they're putting you through different management companies.
But I mean, can you just answer the question quickly? Like, who pays who in that instance?
So at the instance of your question, the DNC is paying you, so therefore your agent
just in the hypothetical I just gave to you, where an agent and an athlete,
who
pays who in that instance? Who pays who in that?
Okay, say I'm a wide
buddy,
receiver.
hey, listen up. If you can't actually engage in conversation, I'm answering your questions. I'm actually going back and forth with you. If you can't do the same and you have to like try to pivot to something else, I'm not going to talk to you. I'll just move on.
Bro. I'm taking you head on.
No, you are pivoting. So answer the question. In that instance of which I just provided to you with an agent and a manager, or excuse me, an agent and an athlete, who gets paid? Who pays who? Thank you, JW.
An agent is a liaison for a talent, yes.
But who pays who? It's a simple question. I'm not asking you to do like Einstein's equations here, my man.
Okay. So your agent finds whoever will hire you.
Wait. I'm not asking you. Please just answer the question, my man. Who pays who in that instance?
Like I said, what? Okay, so the DNC pays your agent.
Who pays who?
Okay, the DNC pays you, and then your agent takes a percentage of what you make.
So just to be clear, you're confirming that I pay the agent, right?
Yes, but you get paid by
it would make absolutely no sense for my management team to pay me. It would make no sense for my management team to pay me. Now you're saying that the DNC is paying me through the management team.
Okay,
so where's your evidence that the management team is getting paid by Pallet, or excuse me, paid by the DNC, and then it's being funneled to me?
So Pallet Management is your company that pays.
Oh, thank God he got a phone call. Holy shit.
No, I didn't. Yeah, no, I'm back again.
What's the evidence that the DNC is like funneling money through any company?
No, nobody's funneling money, anything. You're getting paid by Pallet Management.
So whatever you'd like to describe it as. Where's the evidence of that?
Okay. So George Soros and the DNC are here, right? Your Pallet Management is here.
I don't need like a rundown of the conspiracy. I'm asking what's the evidence.
I mean, it's not a conspiracy, bro. It's a fact.
No, it is a conspiracy. So I'm asking you what the evidence is.
It's not. Okay, so who pays you? Who gives you a paycheck at the end of the day?
Nobody gives me a paycheck.
So you do this for free?
No, I just told you that like I make videos on TikTok. TikTok pays, YouTube pays, Twitter pays, Instagram pays. So those people, those companies that I make content on, they pay. But in terms of like big groups like the DNC, no, that doesn't happen, my man.
I don't believe you, bro. Because you don't have to.
Look, my bed's right over there. I'll sleep perfectly fine at night, knowing that you don't believe me. That's perfectly fine.
I mean, dude, listen, man. I'm a combat veteran. I get paid either way, whether I do it. So I do this to save our country.
Good for you. I quite honestly don't care how you get paid because I'm not a freak that like has to like investigate other people's lives. It's like
if you get paid,
if you get paid by like some group to be political, or if you get paid or whatever you do, like good for you, man. You get your money whatever way you want to.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. You're what, 22 years old, I take it?
22, that's right.
Okay, so under President Trump, you were what, living with your parents?
I was in high school, yeah.
What bills did you have at that time? How were you, hang on, it's a two-part question. How were you living then versus now?
I'm way better now.
How do you tell the difference? Hang on, dude, and I'll be respectful. I'll let you talk. It's been somewhat cool. So I guess my question is
we haven't been cool because you're bringing up a conspiracy theory about me. So
I'm not bringing up a conspiracy theory. You're getting paid
you're suggesting that I'm getting paid by like the DNC and George Soros.
Bro, you're getting paid by Pallet Management, man.
You're still peddling crap, my man. It's like you can't say like oh, we've been cool if you're peddling utter crap, my man. Like you have this like narrative. You have confirmation bias, right? You look for evidence to support your theory as opposed to just like looking at the objective fact.
Pallet Management.
We don't need to like rehash it. Like you're always going to have these.
That's how it goes, bro. You're gonna. That's the
really. You have all this. You have all this insight. You have all this insight as to this is how it goes. So where's the evidence for that?
It's easy. It's on your fucking pay stubs.
So please, where are my pay stubs?
You're the person. Present it. Prove me wrong with pay stubs.
Wait, what? Wait, you're saying you have all this insider information that you know exactly how it goes from top down, and you're saying the evidence is my pay stubs. So if I have pay stubs out, yes, you're wrong. If I have pay stubs out there, please provide the evidence for this claim. That's all. I'm asking you a very simple question. You're coming up here making a bold claim. I'm just asking you to provide evidence for the claim.
I mean, so you answered it yourself. You said Pallet Management doesn't pay you. You said nobody pays you but TikTok. But why are you endorsed, and why do you have Pallet Management under your profile and emails?
Because, like, for example, when I went on CNN, that's not me talking to the producers about when that's going to happen.
But why are you affiliated with a management company if they don't pay you?
It's like I'm speaking to a brick wall. So as I just said, when I went on CNN, that's not me talking directly to the producers, coordinating when I'm going to go on. So when I met with
so your management company does it for free. So they work for free, right? No. We're getting to the wrong course.
So what did I just say about the athlete and the agent? They do not do it for free.
You're pivoting and you're dodging questions.
They do not do it for free. So a portion of what I make, I give to Pallet because they're my managers.
But where does that income come from?
What did I tell you? I get paid from TikTok and YouTube and social media platforms that I make content on.
You're too big not to get paid by the DNC, man.
Well, please provide evidence for that because the parties can't pay people.
Well, let's see. You've met Barack Obama. You've met Joe Biden. Yep. And let's see. You thought that was free? You think those people come around for free? No, man.
Yeah, that was free. I actually lost money meeting those people because I had to pay for my own plane ticket, my own hotel, whatever it might be, to go do that. So I actually lost money, but I did that because the experience was good.
So you didn't get $20,000 for going to the DNC conference?
Wow. Holy shit. I wish I got $20,000 for going to the DNC. You kidding me?
Because I've seen emails, and I'm not saying you specifically, but I've seen other Democratic.
I don't know what emails you've seen, but if there's somebody handing out $20,000 to go to the DNC, then they missed me. They missed me. I'll give them my bank details.
I've seen myself.
I don't care.
Well, I've seen evidence of it myself.
Look, buddy, you're like a grown ass man, curious about young people on TikTok getting paid. It's like, dude, don't you have something better going on? Don't you have something better to think about than this? It's super strange how other folks like yourself who wearing a red hat right now are concerned with my personal life and how I make a living and what I do and things like that. At 22 years old,
like every other liberal,
very strange.
Just come out and be like, yes. Be like, yes, these people represent me. You don't have to say how much you get paid. I get paid by the DNC, and that's it. Just be honest where you get your income from.
Do you not understand that political parties can't pay people without it being disclosed?
But they can make donations to you.
They cannot do that. They cannot do that. There's no loophole in the law.
So what's the difference if I make
this is the stupidest thing. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You think that there's a loophole in the law? Wait, hold on. You think that there's a loophole in the law that the DNC can somehow go around it and just call it a donation? That is utter nonsense. You know how you know that's not true? Wait. You know how that's not true? Because when you donate to a political party, it shows up on the FEC. So whether you label it a donation or a payment of services, it still shows up on the FEC.
So you're telling me that the DNC cannot pay celebrities to show up and endorse them?
Yeah, from my understanding, well, at least in terms of content creation, not for endorsements. I don't know what it is when it comes to celebrities, but in terms of content creation, promoting a political party, you cannot get paid on social media without promoting it, without advertising that it is advertised, without having a paid label.
Fair enough. Okay, but listen, man, all I'm saying is that you're endorsed by somebody, so therefore they're funding you.
Who's endorsing me?
The DNC and Pallet Management.
The DNC has endorsed me?
And Pallet Management, yes.
When has the DNC endorsed me?
You're always all over it, meeting with President Biden, meeting with Barack Obama.
I've met President Biden one-on-one once. I've met President Obama once.
And who's the head of the DNC or the main influence?
Who's the head of are you talking about the DNC chair?
No, I'm talking about who has a big influence on the DNC, which is Barack Obama. Yes or no?
I'm sure that Barack Obama has influence in the DNC.
Exactly, and he's telling his donors.
I've met him once. I've met him once. We're acting as if we're best buddies. I wish I was best buddies with Barack Obama. That'd be cool.
3 times, and I've
met Obama once.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying at this is you've met Barack Obama, yes, and he has influence in the DNC. So all Barack Obama has to do is say, "Hey, give this guy $20,000. Let's bring him on TikTok."
Why would Obama do that?
Pretend like I'm meeting him.
Wait, why would Obama do that? Why, do you not think that I'd meet Obama for free?
It's all votes, man. It's all about the vote.
Do you not think I'd meet Obama for free? There's a picture on my TikTok. There's a picture of me on TikTok when I was like 10 years old wearing an Obama shirt. You don't think that I would just meet Obama? You think I'd have to be paid $20,000 to meet Obama? Are you kidding me?
Like Joker said,
this is where like the conspiracy collapsed because you're trying to connect. It is a conspiracy. You're trying to connect things that are just not there. You have so many gaps in the story, and you have no money trail, no nothing, no payments, no nothing, and you're suggesting that I'd have to get paid $20,000 to meet Obama. Fuck it, I'd fly to across the world to go meet Obama again. That guy's awesome.
I've met him once, and I don't like him.
You also like Trump, who's a sexual abuser, so I don't think your opinion's all that valid.
Hey, but Harry, actually, my opinion does matter, and my opinion does matter here in Arizona because we're going to take it. Arizona's going red.
I'm sure you love felons, you love crime, you love people who assault
Harris,
women. It's like, yeah, you know, it's all good. It's all good. We know who you are. You're wearing a MAGA hat. You're parading it around. Of course, you like Donald Trump.
Because I represent what I stand for, dude, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
Assault and crime and business fraud and things of that nature, bullying people, going after political opponents. Sure,
Harry, let me ask you something. I'm a 2-time combat veteran. What have you done for this country?
I pay my taxes every year. I do that for the country. And by the way, thank you for your service. That's great. I'm glad that you served your country. Everybody appreciates that. But also, as somebody who hasn't served, and somebody who's never been in combat or anything like that, doesn't make them any less patriotic. Matter of fact, you can still serve. Wait, you can still serve in the military and come back and vote for somebody like Donald Trump who hates his country.
So I don't agree with you on that, man. I don't. I'm sorry.
Sorry, buddy. If you serve, which is fantastic, everybody appreciates service, but then you turn around and you vote for Donald Trump, it's contradictory. Just let me ask you this. You fought to uphold the Constitution and protect the Constitution, correct?
Yes, sir.
So Donald Trump has talked about terminating that very Constitution that you put your life on the line for. That doesn't seem very patriotic to me.
When did he say that? I don't ever remember him saying that.
I'll pull up the Truth Social post for you. He put this out on Truth Social. And by the way, the post is still up.
Let's see it.
Yeah. Quote, a massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution.
Sorry, I'm responding to someone in your comments, but that's a Google search, dude. This is his post directly from Truth Social. Is it from Truth Social? Or is it from X? Because look at his picture.
No, this was posted on Truth Social. This is a screenshot that was then uploaded to Twitter.
Bro. That's an old picture.
So wait, are you okay? So now you're disputing
No, hang on.
Now you're disputing it.
Hang on. His Truth Social picture is him with an American flag.
This is older. Donald Trump posted this, I don't know how many years ago, in 2022.
Okay. Well,
that's why his picture is older.
Have you ever heard of, people having different views? Because Trump going in the first time had, he didn't know what he was getting into. He didn't know what he was doing versus now he's already been there and he pretty much has a circle.
Hold on. He called for the termination of the Constitution, my man, because he lost an election. Are you kidding me? You think that's patriotic? Do you think anybody who wants to terminate the Constitution loves this country?
Trump doesn't want to terminate the Constitution.
He said it.
But yet
this is what's so fucking annoying about people like you.
What's annoying?
He said it. It came from his mouth. His own weird fingers typed it on Truth Social. He said it, and you're like, no, he doesn't mean it. He said it.
I didn't say anything by that. He didn't, dude. It's not true.
So he does mean it.
No, he does not mean it. It's not true.
So why did he say it?
When did he do? It's an old picture from X, man. I don't even know if that's
from Truth Social. It's from Truth Social. He posted it in 2022.
Okay, and what was he talking about? The midterms? What was he talking about?
Does it matter? He said a massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. That's your guy.
Maybe an overhaul of government like you guys want to do for the Second Amendment.
Nobody wants to overhaul the Second Amendment. Nobody's not asking to overhaul the Second Amendment. Donald Trump called for the termination of the Constitution.
No, we're talking on this topic, like you said.
We're talking about Donald Trump wanting to terminate the Constitution. You just said,
he doesn't want to terminate the Constitution.
You just said
where Harris wants to come to my house, check my pews, and take them.
You just said that the Democrats want an overhaul of the Second Amendment, specifically the amendment in the Constitution, right?
The Democrats
and Donald Trump is simultaneously saying he wants to terminate the Constitution.
Get rid of your First Amendment.
I don't care. Donald Trump, you're very upset. You're very upset about the Second Amendment. You're saying that the Democrats want to get rid of the Second Amendment. Donald Trump is talking about terminating the entire Constitution.
The First Amendment, and you don't care.
Yeah, because we're talking about this right now. Stop pivoting. Donald Trump says he wants to terminate the Constitution of the United States.
Bro, you just said you want to get rid of the First Amendment,
Constitution of the United States, he wants to terminate it.
You don't care.
Can you? We're talking about this right now.
No, bro. You just said it. You just said you want to get rid of the First Amendment and you don't care.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that in the context of this conversation,
the Democrats want to get rid of the First Amendment.
So in the context, I'm sorry, I'm muting you now. In the context of this conversation, when you're trying to bring up the First Amendment or the Second Amendment, that's great. I'm talking about something entirely different, which is Donald Trump wanting to terminate the Constitution of the United States. He said it. He said it. Your guy. Your guy.
Can I respond?
Yes.
Okay, so, but you're talking about the Constitution as a whole, so you have to take every amendment as it comes. So if he's talking about getting rid of the Constitution, then he wants to get rid of the Second Amendment, then the First Amendment, right?
Sure.
He wants to,
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but you just,
Donald Trump didn't specify as to what he wants to terminate in the Constitution, so I'm not going to guess.
You just said you wanted to get rid of the First Amendment, and that
no,
I
don't want to get rid of the First Amendment.
You just said it, bro.
When did I say I want to get rid of the First Amendment?
Okay. I just said, because I said the Democrats want to get rid of the First Amendment, and you're like, yeah, I don't care. And you just went right back to
I was saying I don't care in the context of this conversation, because you're trying to pivot. You're trying to pivot. You're trying to make up something. You're trying to make up something. Where did this guy go? You're trying to make up something to justify Donald Trump wanting to terminate the Constitution. There's no Democrat out there who wants to terminate the First Amendment or the Second Amendment. No Democrat.
That's wrong.
No
That's
Democrat.
Wrong. Kamala Harris has said that misinformation can be spread through social media and it needs to be censored.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there should be more regulation on social media companies.
No, great.
Okay, so we have people like Elon Musk just spreading relentless misinformation, and of course, people like yourself love it.
Okay,
but the point is, the fact of the matter is, hold on, I'm not done yet. Be quiet. The fact of the matter is, your guy called for the termination of the Constitution of the United States. There is no defending that. And if you love this country, you care about this country, you want this country to thrive, you don't vote for somebody who wants to terminate the Constitution. The Democrats stand up for the First Amendment. We stand up for the Constitution, want to defend these rights. That's why we're appointing judges who follow the law and interpret the law correctly. Donald Trump wants to terminate it. What the hell is wrong with you guys?
What do you mean? To terminate the Constitution? But yet you guys want to pack the Supreme Court so you can get your own ways?
Has Joe Biden packed the Supreme Court?
Yes, you guys want to pack the Supreme Court, make DC. Okay, well, let me ask
Joe
you
Biden packed the Supreme Court?
Yes, you guys have. Your guy Chuck Schumer.
How did Joe Biden pack the Supreme Court?
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I said you guys want to, because you guys have come out many times in front of where the Supreme Court meets and have come out with a sign that said "Pack the Supreme Court."
You're like trying to apply some people who stood out front of the Supreme Court with signs to the entire Democratic Party. I don't know what the hell you're even talking about. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have not said, let's pack the Supreme Court.
Chuck Schumer was there, and so was that Naylor guy.
Yeah, well, pull up the photo of the protest then, of them saying they want to pack the Supreme Court.
They did, dude. They have a sign on it, man. They had a big sign that said "Pack the Supreme Court." Yeah,
when did they say? When did Chuck Schumer say, "I want to pack the Supreme Court"?
Just go to Google and type in Naylor Schumer pack the Supreme Court.
You mean Nadler?
Whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah. So I just looked up Schumer.
No, type in Nadler. Chuck Schumer packed the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I just looked up Chuck Schumer packed the Supreme Court, and I go to images because of you're saying that there's a protest. And where is it?
No, they had a whole sign. Okay, go back to the very top. Right there. Oh, just saw it. Go. It's halfway through the screen. You see him sitting there with a bunch of people behind him talking about packing the Supreme Court.
This?
No. Go down more down the page. There was him. He had his hands in the air. Keep going. Right there. See it? On the left.
Where does it say pack the Supreme Court?
I can't see your filters in the phone.
The sign behind them says hashtag my rights something. It's Center for Reproductive Rights. I think it says my rights, my decision.
Pack the Supreme Court, dude.
It says Center for Reproductive Rights. There's no sign saying that right there says Center for Reproductive Rights. There's no sign saying, hey, let's pack the Supreme Court.
Dude, him and Naylor.
God, you guys are so goddamn weird. You guys are so goddamn weird.
No, dude,
and it's also
we're not weird. You have TBS.
Also, you have to make up something about Chuck Schumer wanting to pack the Supreme Court, which doesn't exist. I just looked it up. I looked it up with you live, and you told me to go to the photos. I went to the photos that you told me to go to, and they don't say pack the Supreme Court. But you have to come up with some nonsense to justify the fact that your guy wants to terminate the Constitution of the United States.
Nobody's coming up with any nonsense. You guys want to pack the Supreme Court. You guys want to take away people's rights.
Kamala Harris has not come out in favor of packing the Supreme Court. Neither is Joe Biden. But we'd be better off if we had a more liberal Supreme Court.
We don't need a liberal Supreme Court. We need we need a constitutional republic Supreme Court.
You can't say we need a constitutional republic Supreme Court, implying that you care about the Constitution, and then vote for the guy who called for terminating the Constitution.
My oath doesn't expire, Harry. And unlike you, little girl, I actually rose my right hand.
And Donald Trump also rose his right hand, and he defied his oath
I
January
mean,
6th, when he brought a crowd to the Capitol and directed them to the building to delay the certification of the vote.
He said, go to the Capitol and peacefully protest.
And he said, if you don't fight, you won't have a country anymore. And he said, when you see fraud at this levels, you go by different rules.
Just like we're a nation in decline right now. Seriously.
Well, you guys hate America. I mean, all of you hate America. Donald Trump talked about America being a trash can tonight.
Love America, and we're going to save it from
you
the
do.
grip of
If you're voting for Donald Trump, the criminal, the abuser, the fraudster, well, you already voted. That makes it even worse. If you're voting for somebody who breaks our laws, who assaults women in this country, defames these very women, who has obstructed justice in investigations surrounding our national security. If you're voting for the guy who called for the termination of the Constitution and said that he trusts Putin more than our own intelligence community, you cannot claim to simultaneously love this country.
I do love this country because I've put my life on the line for this country, unlike your
I believe you when you say, "Hey, I love this country because I put my life on the line," but your actions and your vote are contradictory to your service.
So I'm supposed to just get in line and vote for Harris because the media tells me to?
No, I'm not telling you to get in line and vote for Harris because the media tells you to. I'm telling you to vote for Harris because it's the right thing to do. No American should be voting for somebody who says they trust Putin more than our own intelligence community.
He also said today, he said this in Tempe, I heard him say it. When I'm the president-elect, I will have Ukraine solved because I have a good relationship. Hang on. He said I have a good relationship with Putin and Zelensky. I will say he did say that. I heard him say it today in public.
Yeah, it's just like, why didn't he do that with any other conflict that the United States was in under his presidency?
But dude, the thing is this whole Ukraine thing could have been avoided. If they would just came to the table. Why are we sending billions of dollars overseas when we need it here at home?
So do you support Donald Trump's proposal of increasing aid to Israel?
I do, because the Israelis stand for themselves, and I'm a Christian 100%.
Okay, so you agree with sending billions more dollars to Israel, but then when it comes to Ukraine, you're like, well, why are we sending billions overseas? Do you not see how that's a little bit...
Okay, I agree in accountability. I agree, and every dollar should be accounted for.
So we do that. The Department of Defense does that. There's strict oversight.
That's not true. Let me ask you this, Harry. Let me tell you this, and this is a proven fact. The last time the Pentagon was audited, look up how much money they misplaced.
Yeah, the Pentagon and all of our different agencies fail their audits every single year. There's no disagreement here.
The Defense is, you just said the Department.
Say that again?
Dude, they're missing trillions of dollars.
They're not. I don't know where you got trillions from, but it's no doubt that a lot of our agencies fail their audits. All of our agencies fail their audits, and there's no disagreement from us saying that maybe we should have more transparency with this money and better tracking of this money. But that's also you have to increase government funding and hire more people to do this, because a lot of the auditors and people who work in these agencies are very old. We got to replace that workforce. So we actually have to incentivize people to want to work for the government by increasing pay. So that's one. If you want to pass audits, we actually have to invest in it. You can't just expect those audits to be passed. But number two, this money didn't just disappear. It's gone to the intended places. We just can't track it. But over the overwhelming majority of the money, it can be tracked. It can be placed. But also, Ukraine is a great investment. Investing in Ukraine is pro-America. Jody, thank you for the subscription. No wonder Donald Trump doesn't want to do it.
But it's not only that, man. Ukraine has one of the most corrupt governments in the world.
Not anymore. It used to be incredibly corrupt.
Do not like Zelensky. The Ukrainian people do not like Zelensky.
I don't know where you're getting that from, but Ukraine definitely used to be incredibly corrupt, but they have done an amazing job at cleaning up the corruption. There are corruption indicators for countries all around the world. Ukraine has consistently moved up the list for one of the least corrupt countries in the world, and governments. They have far more transparency than they've ever had in Ukraine. But that doesn't change the fact that Russia is invading an ally, and we should support our allies and fight against an anti-democracy enemy, aka Donald Trump's best friend.
This war should not be happening. I'll agree with that. And I don't think North Korea should be sending troops to Russia to train to go.
Totally agree. But this war ends by Russia taking their troops out of Ukraine. It doesn't end by just giving Ukraine to Russia. Do you really believe that Donald Trump is some foreign policy whiz so that if he gets in office, within one day he's going to solve the war while preserving Ukraine? Or do you maybe think that he's lying to your goddamn face and we have a bunch of talented generals who are also saying, yeah, that's utterly impossible without compromising Ukraine's sovereignty?
But why haven't we done that yet? You guys say you want to do all these fantastic things, but you get Zelensky and Putin to the fucking table, the two people pushing it.
Okay,
why hasn't that happened yet?
So we've talked about peace. The United States has consistently said, hey, we want peace, but that peace only comes with Russia taking their troops out of Ukraine.
And it also comes with respect. Respect goes a long way in this world. Just saying.
Great. Yeah, I mean, Russia could, if they disrespect Biden, which obviously they don't, but if that's the case, then they can continue to collapse their own economy and ruin their own military just because of respect. But I don't think that's Putin's long-term plan. So that war ends by continuing to fund Ukraine and not just giving them the entire land. Because here's the thing. You say, oh, Trump's going to come in and end the war. And let's just say Donald Trump ends the war as is. Russia takes all the land that they have currently. What's stopping Russia from invading in another 2 years?
But also, you have to keep in mind that Ukraine also has Russian territory.
Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck no. We're not doing this shit. Fuck
Came
no.
out from... You're telling me this isn't true? Ukrainian troops have gone into Russia and have occupied areas there.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
in this war,
for the gifts, we really appreciate the gifts, guys. Thank you. No, I'm just saying that Ukrainian troops are now currently occupying Russian
in this
areas.
war.
Yes.
Yeah. So the goal of the war would be to withdraw all troops. So as soon as Russia's saying, yeah, you know what, we'll pull out of our troops and all of that stuff, Ukraine will be, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Also, I don't know what Russian land you're saying that Ukraine is currently occupying right now.
Google it. It came out from MSNBC. And this happened about 2 months ago. Ukrainian troops pressed into Russia and occupied land there. And they probably still have it for when they go to the table. They'll be like, yo, you give us our land back, we'll give you your land back. It's just negotiations, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map. There's like interactive maps. I'm not seeing any Russian land being taken. All that red is within Ukraine. All that blue indicates battles. I don't know where you're getting this from.
Just go to Russia. Just go to Google and type in Ukrainian forces occupying Russian territory. And there's articles up the ass about it.
I mean, again, the goal of the war is that like everything...
No, Harry, you and I actually see eye to eye on this. Because when it comes to negotiation, say you have some of my stuff and I have some of your stuff. You want your stuff back, I want my stuff back. So at the end of the day, I think it's just a negotiating tactic, and that's why the Ukrainians went up there, which is smart.
So, but that's the goal. But you have to understand that Donald, and I can't believe you've already voted for this idiot, but you have to understand, 3 times is crazy. You have to understand that Donald Trump is not a foreign policy whiz. He's no master at the game. He's not going to end the war in 3 days or whatever he says, 24 hours by picking up the phone. That's utter nonsense. Utter nonsense.
Okay, okay. I will say that's going to take probably a few weeks. That's going to take multiple. Hang on. That's going to take multiple meetings, multiple negotiation tactics. But what has the Biden-Harris administration done?
Kept Kiev standing.
To end this war, what have they done besides funded it, besides the war machine that this country is?
So we've kept Kiev standing because if we didn't keep Kiev standing, Kiev would be rubble. Right now, all the people that live in Kiev would be dead.
Sending money over there when we can't just come to the negotiation table and just end this once and for all.
We're negotiating with a insane dictator. It's quite difficult to negotiate with an insane dictator. That insane dictator doesn't want to give up the land.
I mean, if you have some of his land, he probably will. Like I said, if he has some of his stuff, he'll probably give it up.
Yeah, but Putin wants to take all of Ukraine. So when you're negotiating with a insane lunatic dictator who wants all of the country that he's currently trying to invade, it's quite difficult to sit this person down and talk to them rationally, saying, you know what, let's just stop the killing, let's stop the war, let's just take our troops out, we'll go back to the borders we had before. You're like saying you're thinking that Putin is rational, that this guy is like somebody that's a good moral leader who actually wants what's best for his country. No,
I'm not saying Putin's good, dude. And by the way, I've deployed to Ukraine. I've trained Ukrainian troops in Donbass, and I've got paperwork to prove it. And that's why I'm
and that's great.
And
that's great.
And
but
that's
the point
why
is you're overestimating Putin being nice.
Sometimes, man, it's just about the leader. And I don't think Harris is going to be a strong foreign leader.
Yeah,
Harris
and Trump. What's your indication that Trump will be?
Because he knows these people on a first name basis, and he'll be like, hey, look, get out of the country. We'll give you your land back. And dude, bottom line is he's going to get the results done. And that's how people
when
want.
When has he ever gotten the results done in foreign policy? Can you give me one example of Donald Trump doing like truly successfully creating a massive agreement or doing something massive in foreign policy?
What was it? Let's see, the ISIS thing. He took ISIS out in 3.5 months. I know because I was there when it happened.
He didn't take ISIS out. ISIS still exists today.
He took the majority of them out, Harry. I've been to Iraq in 15, man.
And I'm sure. But First of all, 15 was Obama.
Okay, well, yeah, I served under Trump and Obama. It was Atlantic was So
he didn't take ISIS out in 3.5 weeks. Also, if you're citing drone, also Obama like greatly hindered ISIS, so they're already on the downfall before Trump got into office. But if you're citing like Trump's drone strikes, well, his drone strikes also killed a bunch of innocent people. His 450% increase killed a bunch of innocent people. He changed the laws in 2019 to make it less transparent when it comes to drone strikes on innocent people and casualties from that.
You're talking about the change of ROE, the rules of engagement.
Yes.
Okay, so I will tell you, from one deployment to the other, the difference of ROEs were night and day versus Trump and Obama, but that's here in Norsay. But all I'm saying, man, is that Trump is just respected more around the world than she will be. Okay, well, let me give you an example. So how is Harris going to go to a Muslim country like Saudi Arabia when they don't respect women? They don't give women, they're second-class citizens. How is she going to go there and negotiate any kind of deal with OPEC, for example, for oil? You know, how is she going to do that when those countries don't even respect women to begin with?
There are plenty of women leaders around the world who do just fine. You know, when Angela Merkel was leader of Germany, she did just fine. She was a great leader for Germany.
She was terrible.
Okay, I'm sure you can give me an in-depth reason as to why Angela Merkel was terrible. But point is, she did great. There are plenty of women leaders out there who are fantastic. And here's the thing. Let's say Kamala Harris goes to Saudi Arabia or one of these Middle Eastern countries and they try not to respect her. God help them. Because if they just are like, oh, Kamala Harris is a woman, we won't respect them. The office of the presidency should always be respected, especially when you have somebody who's competent in there like Kamala Harris. So them not respecting her will be their downfall. So have at it, guys. You just won't get the backing of the United States when you need it. So if they want to pull that shit.
Unfortunately, Harry, until we switch to EV, which I'll be true, that's the future, we have to depend on these countries for oil. OPEC, I mean, it is what it is. They supply us a large amount of oil. And that's what I'm saying. You got to kind of kiss their butt, you know, to get it, because that's what runs our country. That's what runs our logistics.
No, Joe Biden proved that we actually don't have to do that. Every president before him, many of them, went to these Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia, all these countries that are part of OPEC, and they begged for them to increase their production of oil. Joe Biden went to Saudi Arabia and said, hey, do you want to increase your production of oil because we just came out of the pandemic? They said no. You know what Joe Biden did? He said, okay, screw you, went back to the United States, released a bunch of our oil from the reserves, and that lowered the price of a barrel of oil on the global markets. So he sold them high, and then when the prices went low, he bought them back and made the United States $500 million while doing it.
I was also going to say, to be fair, he sold the majority of our reserves to China.
Yeah, because the law requires the highest bidder for it to be sold to. Donald Trump also sold oil reserves to China as well, because that's just what the law says. So but Joe Biden made us a bunch of money, and he beat OPEC. He's the first president in modern American history to beat OPEC. So we don't need, going forward, it's not necessarily the truth that we're going to need these OPEC countries. Now, it'd be great to have them. But Joe Biden beat OPEC. Kamala Harris can beat OPEC. Donald Trump will go to Saudi Arabia, especially because, you know, they fund his family and beg for them to increase their oil production.
So at the end of the day, I'm just saying it just comes down to leadership skills. It comes down to respect. It comes down to, I'm just saying, I don't think she's going to be a good leader, man. She's going to laugh and say she was a middle-class kid.
She was middle class.
Well, whatever the case may be, that's her trigger. She laughs when she's nervous. You can see it in her interviews.
God forbid somebody laughs. I mean, it's so funny.
I'm
it's
not
like you
saying
take.
It's bad. I'm not. Listen, man, Harris. I've never met her. I'm not saying I don't know her as a person. I just don't think she's qualified for the presidency, and I've told you all my reasons why tonight.
She was a district attorney, an attorney general, a senator, a vice president. What about that screams unqualified?
Doesn't mean she was good at it.
Really? Because Donald Trump thought she was good at it.
I mean, dude, Trump's already been president once, man. And I don't know if you know who Mike Broomhead is, but he's a radio guy out here. But he said on a morning radio live today that Americans averagely vote with their wallets. And, you know, people are going to say from 4 years ago, things are way more expensive via whatever the government wants to tell you.
Y'all don't even understand why.
Okay, because people live in their own experiences, dude. They don't live off what the government tells them. They live off. Okay, well, hang on. I'm going to explain it. Say I'm a Subway worker, right? And I make like $5 an hour, right? And, you know, a loaf of bread is $7. But anyways, I'm just saying, like, things under Trump were way cheaper, man. Gas was way cheaper.
Yeah, but why?
Because we drilled it in our own country.
We're drilling more right now than ever before in American history.
But why did Biden cancel all the federal leases on fracking on federal grounds?
He didn't.
Yes, he did. He did it in his first week of office, just like he reversed Trump's border policies.
He did not cancel all federal leases leases on federal land for fracking. He put a temporary pause on some projects for more environmental review as required by law.
Canceling.
But he didn't. No, they were resumed after 60 days.
He canceled it. So there.
It's so painful to talk.
All right, Harry, I got to thank you, bro. You're making us both a lot of money. But I was just gonna say, man. No, he did. He canceled it on federal lands. Yes, he did, dude. Okay. He did it. He did it in week 1 of his presidency. He reversed like 50 of Trump's executive orders from the border to energy.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can find from this in terms of fact check is a fact check on a claim Democrats, including Joe Biden from Herschel Walker, stopped domestic drilling for oil, which is not true. But in terms of federal, there's nothing coming up for federal. All fracking being canceled. There are some permits that Biden has canceled in places like Alaska, for example, which is good, but he did not cancel all federal drilling. We are still drilling on federal land.
He canceled, but yet he canceled it for environmental reasons. It's still a pause in it.
No, he halted them temporarily. Look, I actually have an article right here from the Associated Press. Biden halts. Biden halts.
Stop. Means stop.
Yeah, temporarily. Listen, Biden halts oil and gas leases, permits on U.S. land and water. The Biden administration announced Thursday a 60-day suspension of new oil and gas leasing and drilling permits for U.S. lands and waters as officials move quickly to reverse Trump administration policies on energy and the environment. The suspension, part of a broad review of programs at the Department of Interior, went into effect immediately under an order signed Wednesday by acting Interior Secretary Scott de la Vega. So this is temporary. It's 60 days.
Okay, but still, he halted it.
Yes, I agree. He halted it, but he did not stop drilling on federal land.
All right, so let's bring up another subject. So out here in Arizona, I'm working at the Capitol. I'm not going to say the company, but I'm pulling security at the Capitol through Election Day. I met Barry Goldwater today, and I met the governor of Arizona. But anyways, that's how I met Trump. He stopped by. But no, man, I'm just saying is, what is your take on, I guess, the Giuliani election fraud? I don't know anything about it. I read it today, and I just want your opinion on it. I don't know anything about it.
You're talking about 2020, right?
Whatever Giuliani's getting arrested for, dude, out here in Arizona. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
And I have no idea
they
about
did that.
I don't know anything about it.
Look, Trump and all of these people tried to invalidate the votes of your fellow citizens in Arizona. Your state voted for Joe Biden in 2020, and you disagreed with that. That's okay. But what Donald Trump tried to do is invalidate the votes of your fellow Americans, Arizonians in your great state. And so people like Giuliani and others have been indicted for doing that. And they should be held accountable for that. But you voted for the guy who tried to overturn these results. You're wearing his goddamn hat.
Because I think he's a better president, man.
So, yeah, but at the end of the day, you might agree with Donald Trump on policy, but the policy agreements don't matter anymore if you don't get to pick the person you want to be president. Like,
that's true. So,
so don't vote for people who do that. It's simple.
So this is like I told everybody, man. You rally your troops, I'll rally mine, and we'll see who wins at the end of the day. That's where it is, man.
This is not about rallying troops. This is about being smart. It's about common sense.
Harry, let me ask you this: what gets people elected? Votes do.
Of course,
conversations don't. Going back and forth. That doesn't get people elected. Votes do.
Sure, yeah, votes do. I disagree. I think that conversations do convince people, and then that turns into votes. But the point is that you can't say I'm voting for Donald Trump based off of policy if you simultaneously agree that the policy no longer matters if you don't even get to pick who's president. So the overwhelming majority of American people who voted in 2020, I shouldn't say overwhelming, the majority of American people who voted in 2020 agreed with Biden's policies, right? They voted on policies. But Donald Trump tried to overturn that will. So then the policies don't matter anymore if we can just have leaders who decide, you know what, actually I want to stay in power. That's what Donald Trump did, and that's what, unfortunately, you voted for again. 3 times.
So all I'm saying, man, is I just think Trump's the better candidate at the end of the day. Dude, you listen, this is what makes our country great. You have your views, I have mine.
I love disagreement. That's perfectly fine. But it's irrational to support Donald Trump. I have conservative friends. I have libertarian friends I debate with and I disagree with vehemently. But they're saying, you know what, Donald Trump's a step too far. I don't do well with election denialism. I don't do well with crimes or assault or things like that. But unfortunately, there's people out there like yourself who can overlook that. And that to me is sad.
Well, if it makes you feel better, my friend groups are all liberals, and I feel like John Wick getting the pew-pews pointed at him because they want my.
God help your friends. Hopefully their votes cancel out yours enough.
But yeah, Harry, I've gotten a lot of people to vote. I've gotten a lot of veterans I know to vote. But Harry, man, it's been fun, dude. We've both made a lot of money off this. So, all right, man.
All right, man.
Well, no, Harry, like I respect you, bro. From like one to another, I respect you because you go toe to toe with me.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming up and having the conversation.
Yeah, take it easy, Harry, and I hope to see you again.
Yeah, bye. So fucking ridiculous, dude. It's actually crazy, man. Sorry. I have a bunch of people on Venmo who are amazing, by the way. Amber, thank you for the $10. Aiming for another $20,000 doors in PA this weekend. Let's do this, Harry. Amber, I'm so glad to hear that. Let me know if you hit that number or whatever number you do hit. Alicia, thank you for the $10 saying property manager, and thank you for giving me hope. I appreciate you, Alicia. Jason, thank you for the $25. Send some subs. Hope you're well tonight. Why is everyone obsessed with who pays you? It's so dumb. I think they are mad jealous. Nobody even pays me. I always say I wish I was getting paid. If the DNC is listening and you want to give me like a bunch of money and there's a way to do that legally, I will take it. Just to do what I do already, I will do that. But unfortunately, they don't offer that program. Mary Sella, thank you for the $10 from the DNC. Do they think TikTok is facilitating fraud on live? They are employed. There are people employed at TikTok that would prevent that. Exactly. If that was thing, my account would get like gone like that. Christina, thank you for the $25. I hope you can keep up your patience and stamina with these ludicrous MAGA devotees. You do a great service for our country. Christina, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the support. You're amazing. You're incredibly kind. Avery, thank you for the $2. Harry, I saw you debated Emily Austin. As a Hofstra journalist alum, she lied about professors and can be sued. We don't claim her. Avery, good to know. When she was saying that, I was like, what? It just didn't sound right to me, but, whatever. Kathy, thank you for the $50 saying, thanks for all that you do fighting the good fight. Trump is saying what he will do and they don't believe him. Wild. Kathy, thank you for the $50. Drop W's in the chat for Kathy dropping $50. That's incredibly kind. I appreciate you so much, Kathy. Fill the chat with W's for Kathy, and then also fill the chat with W's for Jason or JW. I voted today, blew up and down the ballot. I'm damn proud I voted for Kamala Walls. Let's effing go. Thank you for your influence and factual information. Another $50 from JW. Fill the chat with $50 for JW and fill the chat with W's for Kathy. So incredibly kind, guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And thank you to everybody that's on Venmo and Cash App. It means the world. And Jack Piper's mom, thank you for the $20 saying, good job cooking these Trumpers. I'm scared to find out what they're going to do when Kamala wins. Man, you and me both. Jack and Piper's mom. And Kelsey, thank you for the $5. Always love seeing you go live. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio. Let me know if you're MAG. I'll bring you up. Let's bring up Evan. Get right into the next debate. And Matthew, thank you for the $20. Tell the idiots I'll marry you and support you. I appreciate that. All right, Evan, why are you MAGA, buddy?
I think the liberal party is just a bunch of hypocrites.
How so?
I've been thinking about this lately. Kamala wants to, Kamala wants to raise taxes for billionaires, right?
Yes.
Corporations too.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that every major corporation supports Democrats?
What major corporations only exclusively support Democrats?
Well, let's not get too technical here, but let's talk about Google. Let's talk about Microsoft. Let's talk about Disney. Who do they support?
Hold on. Let's look it up. Google, political. All this stuff is public, right?
Sure. Yeah. Look it up for me.
Yeah. So let's see here.
Do you think Donald Trump has more billionaires supporting him, or do you think Kamala has more billionaires supporting her?
Don't know.
Look it up.
Yeah. So for some reason, for Google, the latest one is 2014. But yeah, there's some Democratic PACs like the Friends of Democracy, Senate Majority PAC, but there's also Republican PACs, National Republican Senatorial Committee. They donated quite a big amount of money, $102,000 to them in 2014. I'm trying to find 2024, but yeah. So, or here, hold on. Google. Oh, here we go. 2024. In 2024, they donated. Look at this. Between 2023 and 2024, total contributions from Google Inc. PAC to federal candidates, $317,000 for Democrats, $355,000 for Republicans.
Well, why don't you look up president? Look up presidents. Who's donated more?
I don't know if they have it for specifically on presidents, but they're donating to both sides.
I'm not saying they're not, but its massive majority is going towards Democrats.
I just read you that in 2023 to 2024, it was not the majority going to Democrats.
Do you think Microsoft supports Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
I don't know who Microsoft supports. All these companies donate to both sides. It's very, very common for these companies and their subsequent PACs and whatnot to donate to both sides.
I just don't think y'all have common sense, man. You think Disney supports Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? I mean,
you want to look up Disney?
Common sense. What does common sense tell you?
We don't have to like employ a silly test. We can just look this up. So in 2024, they've donated $600,000 to Kamala Harris. They've donated $35,000 to the National Republican Committee. They've donated $25,000 to Donald Trump, $25,000 to Nikki Haley, $50,000 to some Republican group called the Valor Project. And they've donated to a bunch of different Republicans and Democrats. Now, right now, they donate more to Democrats than they do Republicans, but they still donate to both sides.
All right. Again, it's common sense. That's y'all.
Well, common sense is not so common because you can just look this stuff up.
Words correctly before you take them and turn them.
I'm just saying, common sense would tell you to look this stuff up. Where you have Open Secrets, where it's a great website. It tells you where all these people are donating, and it shows you that these companies donate to both sides.
Which I do agree with, but majority goes to Democrats. Major corporations support Democrat nominees.
Sorry, say that again.
Majority of major corporations support Democratic nominees.
Well, I don't even know where you're getting this because all the companies we've looked up with Google and Disney show that they donate to both sides. So you're making this like very strange claim.
What did you say? It was Microsoft. You said donated $300,000.
That was Disney. Disney donated $355,000 to Republicans and around like $300,000 to Democrats.
All right, something's wrong with that because I know damn well, and again, common sense, that Disney is not only spending $600,000 on nominees or parties.
That's what Open Secret says, my man.
Can you not agree that sounds awfully low?
No. Okay. I mean, it maybe the people who work in the companies donate themselves, but in terms of the corporations, no. So here we go. Microsoft. They donated in 2024 $9.1 million. They ranked 69 out of 36,000 major corporations who donated. And again, they donated $1.3 million to Kamala Harris, but they also donated $250,000 to the Republican National Committee, $500,000 to the Best of America PAC, which is a Trump supporting PAC. They donate to both sides. Again, another corporation which donates to both sides. And I encourage you to look this up. You don't have to take my word for this.
No, I will, but I'm actually thinking while you're talking, what is the reason that they're supporting both sides?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, these companies, this is decisions they made internally, but if I had to guess, it's because they want an in with both sides. So they can say, hey, we donated to your campaign. You should help us out or, listen to us on a certain policy. Because, I think Trump would be, for example, less likely to listen to a corporation that didn't donate to him. Right.
Fair point.
So your question that you've been pondering for some time now, I guess, was pretty simple to answer.
No, you didn't answer. Just to put that out there.
You said it's hypocrisy. We just talked about how this is not true.
The mass majority of major corporations support Democratic nominees.
Where are you getting this from, man?
You're giving me two examples off God knows what website.
It's you don't know Open Secrets?
Is that a website? OpenSecrets.com?
OpenSecrets.org. It tracks political donations from major corporations and groups. So your question that you've been pondering for some time now, I guess, was pretty simple to answer.
No, you didn't answer. Just to put that out there.
You said it's hypocrisy. We just talked about how this is not true.
The mass majority of major corporations support Democratic nominees.
Where are you getting this from, man?
Two examples. You're giving me two examples off God knows what website.
It's you don't know Open Secrets?
Is that a website? OpenSecrets.com?
OpenSecrets.org. It tracks political donations from major corporations and groups. It's like the top website for this stuff.
Okay, I'll look into that. I haven't heard of that.
Great, good, amazing. So anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, Republicans are more patriotic than Democrats, and if you cannot agree with that, it's pretty sad. And
yeah, okay, we'll talk about that in just a second. But just Just as a reminder for the people, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Keep double tapping the screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. Also, Venmo, Cash App, and the link in the bio if you want to support the live, because we talk to people like this. Yeah, so I didn't think it was patriotic on January 6th when Trump directed his supporters to stop the process of our government, of the federal government. I didn't think that was patriotic when they were prancing the Confederate flag around the Capitol, or they were beating police officers.
They were burning American flags in Minneapolis.
I don't think that's patriotic either. That's not the Democratic Party. And Joe Biden has never supported that. Joe Biden has never spoken favorably about those people. Donald Trump, on the other hand, said that if he wins, he's going to pardon January 6th insurrectionists who tried to stop a process of our government. One of the most basic bedrock foundations of our government, the peaceful transfer of power. Never been interfered with in American history.
That's Donald Trump. And just put that out there. I'm not a mega Trumper by any chance. I am voting for him. I do support him way more than Kamala. But that's just him pandering. Just the same way as Kamala does.
That's just who Donald Trump is. He's not patriotic.
Yeah, a guy that talks a lot and doesn't do half the stuff he talks about. Yes.
Holy shit. When he was talking about trying to overturn an election in 2020, he certainly tried. He made good on that talk where he was trying to overturn an election he didn't win.
And I'm assuming you think Trump's a racist?
Yes.
And why so?
Because he has a history of racism, whether it be in the 1970s getting sued for housing discrimination, or in 2012 saying that Obama wasn't born in the United States, saying he was born in Kenya. I mean,
okay, so you can proudly say Trump is a racist, right?
Yeah.
Not proudly, but factually, I guess.
Yes, in my view, yes.
Would you call your friend Dean a racist?
No, I wouldn't call Dean a racist.
Why? He said the N-word.
Yeah, I think Dean was young and he's learned from his mistakes. I think that there's room for...
You can't hold yourself accountable.
I think there's a difference in standard between a 14-year-old boy and a 35-year-old man in terms of maturity and an understanding of people's actions. I think there's a huge difference there.
The N-word?
What?
Has Trump ever said the N-word?
Yeah, there's a lot of accusations that he had. People who have come out publicly and said that. Yeah, people who have come out publicly and said that they've heard him say that. Yes.
Yeah, accusations. On the other hand,
yes, I'm not saying that there's audio of Donald Trump saying it, but also accountability. I mean, Dean took accountability. He said, I was wrong and I apologize, and he's learned, and he's done a lot of work to learn, which is important. Whereas Donald Trump has not.
Apologize.
What was that?
Trump never said the N-word, so why would he have to apologize for
I don't know, maybe apologizing for housing discrimination?
Something he did, in the 70s?
So when he was a grown man operating a business in New York and he was denying people of color because of the color of their skin, and he settled these cases with the Department of Justice, tried to countersue twice, had the cases thrown out of court, and the evidence was overwhelming. You just say, well, why would he have to apologize? Because it took place in the 1970s?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Trump never said the N-word.
Wait, what you can do things that are racist without saying the N-word.
I'm talking about the N-word. The N-word is probably the most.
I don't know how that got brought up in conversation, because we're talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump discriminated based on race when it came to housing. He said that the first black president wasn't born in the United States and said he was born in Africa. I mean, give me a break. Guy's a piece of crap.
The N-word, not one of the most racist things you can do or say.
What was that?
The N-word's one of the most racist things.
I agree. It's a horrible thing to say, and nobody should say it.
So the fact that Donald Trump has not said it, but your friend has, and you won't.
So just to be clear, do you think that there's a difference in maturity and intelligence and, the ability to operate in society between a 14-year-old boy and a 35-year-old man?
100%.
Okay, so when a 14-year-old boy says it, is it? Wait, hold on. This is important. This is important. When a 14-year-old boy says it, is it right? No, absolutely not. No, I totally agree. It should not have been said. But the fact of the matter is that he was 14. And he learned from his mistakes, and he's grown a lot, and he's taken accountability for his actions and said, I agree that it was wrong, and was very open about it. Didn't try to say, oh, it's fake, oh, it's this. He was open enough to say, you know what, I take accountability. And does it make him saying it right? No. But Donald Trump has never apologized or taken accountability for the awful, racist, disgusting things that he has done. And that's the difference. If a 21 or 20-year-old man like Dean can take accountability, but a 78, 79 convicted felon can't, maybe that tells you a lot about who Donald Trump is.
I just think it's so funny that everyone loved Donald Trump before he ran for president.
It's not true.
Oprah loved Donald Trump. Oprah didn't love Donald Trump.
I don't know if Oprah loved Donald Trump. I don't. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not. But point is, like, if you've ever lived in New York or you know people that live in New York hated Donald Trump before he ran for president. And it also makes sense. This is such a curious talking point to me, because it's like, okay, if there's a celebrity you like, and then suddenly that celebrity starts going public with a lot of racist, xenophobic, disgusting views, yeah, it's likely that people will start turning on that person because they did something that's wrong. There's not loyalty through everything.
He was hated ever since he came down that escalator.
Because he said really gross things. He started doing really gross things. So if you are a normal person and then you turn into a racist, it's likely that a lot of people will dislike you because you turn into a racist.
What did he do a month after he announced his run for presidency in 2016? That was gross.
What did he do a month?
Yeah. You're saying he started.
I just think his general rhetoric. His general rhetoric was gross.
From the get-go.
His general rhetoric was gross.
I mean, yes, I agree. He wasn't a polished politician that speaks clearly and, has a way.
It's kind of nice to have a leader who is polished, is not just an open can of worms. You never know what they're going to say.
Talk about polished. Let's talk about Anderson. What's his name? Anderson Cooper and Kamala at the town hall about her weaknesses. That was a polished answer.
Yeah, I thought it was a good answer.
God damn, Lord have mercy. Can you tell me what her weakness was?
Yeah, she was talking about reading up on policy.
Can you play it for me?
I can try and find the exact answer. Sure, I can. No promises that I can. I mean, I don't even. Maybe YouTube. Kamala Harris. Weakness. CNN question. Let's see if maybe it's.
Don't say you can't find it, because I know it's first.
No, the first thing that comes up is Harris discusses the moment she found out Biden withdrew, part 5 of Kamala Harris's town hall. The next thing is Kamala Harris's answer question. Oh, here we go. From Forbes. There we go.
Well, I am certainly not perfect. So
hold on, let's listen.
And I think that perhaps a weakness, some would say, but I actually think it's a strength, is I really do value having a team of very smart people around me who bring to my decision-making process different perspectives. My team will tell you, I am constantly saying, let's kick the tire on that. Let's kick the tires on it. Because, listen, as I mentioned earlier, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a courtroom prosecutor. I've tried everything from low-level offenses to homicides. And I learned at a very early stage of my career and adult life that my actions have a direct impact on real people in a very fundamental way. When I was Attorney General of California, I was Attorney General of what is the 5th largest economy in the world. And acutely aware that my words could move markets. So I take my role and responsibility as an elected leader very seriously. And I know the impact it has on so many people I may never meet. And that is why I engage and bring folks around. So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes.
That's funny.
That wasn't the clip I was referring to, but that was just as bad. I'm talking about the clip where she said, try raising kids, or mothers that's known how to raise kids, which she's never done.
I don't know what clip you're referencing, but that was the question where she was asked about weaknesses. So.
Then maybe I misspoke, but that's not the clip. But that was just as terrible. I mean,
seriously, she gives a really well thought out answer regarding her weaknesses, and then you say that's bad. Have you heard Trump speak recently? Tell me. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. When Donald Trump talks about Hannibal Lecter at his rallies, what does he mean?
I've heard of this snippet, but I've never seen it, so I can't.
Well, I'll pull it up. Sure. Do you know what he means?
I mean, I know it's going to be a stupid Trump moment or whatever, which is fine. I guess they both have them, which is fine.
Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the late, great Hannibal Lecter? He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. Poor doctor. I'm about to have a friend for dinner. but Hannibal Lecter. Congratulations, the late great Hannibal Lecter.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I guess the Silence of the Lamb movie.
Yeah, why the hell is a presidential candidate talking about Silence of the Lambs?
Fucking, I don't know. You need context.
Yeah, goddamn, you don't know.
You need context.
There's no what possible context could Donald Trump be talking about Hannibal Lecter? And what possible context could Donald Trump be referring to Hannibal Lecter as the late great Hannibal Lecter, implying that he existed and died?
Play the full clip and we'll find out together.
I mean, there was 30 seconds of him talking about the Hannibal Lecter, a fictional character.
What does he mean? Of course, that was stupid. Everyone can hear that. It says, what is he talking about? But
so
there's
what does he mean?
Context.
What does he mean?
There's no context. Play the full clip and we'll learn together.
Sure. Let's try to find a longer clip of Donald Trump talking about Hannibal Lecter.
3,000 people in here. We'll learn together.
They're emptying out their mental institutions into the United States, our beautiful country. And now the prison populations all over the world are down. They don't want to report that.
By the way, that's not true, actually. Fun fact.
The institution population is down because they're taking people.
It's also not true.
From insane asylums and from mental institution. You know what the difference is, right? An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids. Silence of the Lamb. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lamb? The late great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. As this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter.
What the fuck?
Congratulations, the late great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country.
Congratulations, you're having insane people coming into our country. That's the context. He's
I'm sorry.
About mental
So wait.
Have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
Yes.
Is he not in the
Wait. So the claim is that Donald Trump is connecting Hannibal Lecter to immigration?
I'm saying he's connecting to the insane asylums.
Bro, y'all be
they're being released from.
The insane asylum. Oh my God, the cope is crazy, man.
The context clues.
Yeah. So, but wait, hold on. Your Donald Trump is connecting Hannibal Lecter to insane asylums that don't exist, by the way. That's emptying people into the country. That's not true. So he's taking a lie and another lie and then connecting it to a fictional character. Does that sound like somebody who's sane to you? No, right? I mean, the logical answer is no, right?
We can disagree on that one, but all right.
Wait, you do think it's sane?
I think it's just y'all are taking it out of proportion. Do I think it sounds stupid? Yeah, sure. It's not the grass.
When Kamala Harris gives an answer on weaknesses, you're like, oh my God, it was so tough to listen to. It was so bad. But when Donald Trump talks about Hannibal Lecter and refers to him as the late great Hannibal Lecter, again implying that he died and existed, then you're like, well, I understand what he's saying and try to justify it.
She does this.
You just try to justify that.
But Kamala has ever had in front of a camera is probably during the debate because she had months and teachers and coaches to prepare her. On her feet, not worth a shit.
Well, we just saw her on her feet, and at the town hall, she was great.
Put a poll up and see how many people thought that was great.
Yeah, I mean, if the mods want to start a poll, we can do that for sure.
Let's do it. Actually, can we make it more fun, civilly? Let's see how many Trump versus Kamala voters are in here. I'm just curious. I watch you all the time. I do enjoy you. I do enjoy the rhetoric. I'm curious how many.
Cool. Let's see.
What's your?
Okay, there's a poll. All right, put this emoji for blue and this emoji for Kamala. Like, obviously the red and the blue. So this one is like the crying emoji. This one's like whatever the happy emoji. I don't know what it is, but blue
red
versus
for Trump,
red.
Blue for Kamala.
Yeah. Blue for Kamala, red for Trump. It's like got to be like 60 seconds or something like that. So just run it up. Whoever you're voting for. I think we kind of have a resounding answer here already.
Yeah. I'm curious I'm curious what the demographic of your audience is.
All of these people are going to be voting for Kamala.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
What do you think the election is going to be?
What do you say?
How close do you think the election is going to be?
Really, really close. Really, really close. It's going to be decided by like tens of thousands of votes, maybe even thousands of votes in certain states.
And if Trump does win, what's your plan moving forward?
In terms of like content creation, or like what will my reaction be, or what?
No, I mean, I know what your reaction is going to be. Just content creation. Are you going to come out here just to bash Trump every day, or are we going to focus on are you going to focus on what he's doing in the office at the time, or continue to bring up the great?
It's going to be a mix of everything. It's going to be a mix of everything. I mean, I don't know. We'll get there. Once we get there, then we'll know more. Thank you, Nick, for the subscription.
Did you get a Rolex too, like Dean from the DNC?
Do I have a Rolex?
Yeah.
God, I wish I had a Rolex. No, sorry, man.
You got one. Damn.
The only things I wear on my wrist are like 50-cent friendship bracelets, my man. I don't got no Rolex. Dean did not get a Rolex from the DNC, my man.
Man, when I asked him, he turned pretty stone face.
Well, I don't know why you'd insinuate that he did.
Because everyone knows y'all get paid by the DNC. Yeah, maybe not the DNC, but y'all definitely get some endorsement money. Which, more power to you, like you said.
I wish we did. If there's anybody out there that wants to give us endorsement money, by all means. But if you just want to support the live, Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio. You see how that nice smooth thing.
Actually, fair enough. Y'all, man, you make a killing on this, so good for you. Good on you.
Well, anyway, man. All right, we'll leave the conversation there.
All right, man. Have a good night. Appreciate it.
You too. Appreciate it. That's crap. Sorry. Just saw something on Twitter. I just dropped my phone. Hold on. Sasha, thank you for the $25 on Venmo saying perseverance. I appreciate it so much, Sasha. Thank you so much. Perseverance, that's the name of the game right now. That's what they call it. Andrew, thank you for the $20. Keep up the good fight with a blue circle. I love that. What a beautiful thing. Blue. We love blue. Emma, thank you for the $5. Trump did say it on his show, The Apprentice. Yeah, that's the allegation, that people on The Apprentice heard him say it. Faith in Films, thanks for the $1. Let me up. Maybe we'll get to you. I'll try. Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio. Because, it's apparently the DNC pays us through that. DNC pays us through that. So also drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all of the time. All of the time we do these lives. So definitely drop a follow, and of course, double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 700,000 likes. I think we can do it super quick. But yeah, let me know if you're MAGA in the chat. I will try to bring you up. I will try to bring you up, and you can tell me why you're MAGA. Again, only request up if you are MAGA. We're only looking for some debates this evening. The best way to get up is typing in the chat that you are MAGA if it's something you want to do. If that's something you want to do. Suri Murray, she's a Taylor Swift fan and a Trump supporter. I actually want to give her the opportunity to come up because that's fucking insane. But we'll give her like 30 seconds. If she doesn't, we'll pick somebody else. If she doesn't, we'll pick somebody else. Well, it looks like, oh no, here she comes. I was proven wrong. Venmo, Cash App, link in the bio. Anthony for the subscription. Thank you. Hey. All right. How old are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 35.
You're 35. All right. So why are you MAGA?
I just have been since 2016. I love him, everything about him.
Gross.
Not really. You're pretty gross.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but like, what policy do you agree with? Like of his?
All of them.
Can you name one?
I didn't really come up here to debate. You wanted to know about Taylor Swift and me being a Trump supporter and Taylor Swift fan. And I really don't think I think that it's okay for me to like a certain music and like politics, and it's okay to like her still just because she doesn't agree with my beliefs.
Yeah, but wouldn't you agree that Taylor Swift's music, or at least a lot of her music, is like empowers women, is about women?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then why would you then vote for somebody who's completely contradictory to that music?
Because I don't believe that.
You don't believe what exactly?
Donald Trump isn't coming for our rights.
Oh, of course he is. I mean, he said in 2015.
Not.
Well, he said in 2015, women who get an abortion should be punished. And he's perfectly fine with allowing Republican states who criminalize women who want to get this reproductive care He's even said he'd be okay with women having their pregnancies monitored by some of these Republican states, and he's not going to step in and try to stop that, whereas Kamala Harris would try to step in and stop that. And also, just to be clear, like Donald Trump in his personal capacity has treated women like garbage or just some meat for him to play with. Very gross. I mean, he's assaulted women, bragged about assaulting women, talked about dating 10-year-old girls, talked about dating his own daughter, calling her voluptuous. I mean, this is no pro-woman man over here. And you're muted, by the way. Any comments on that, or are we just going to leave it there? I wouldn't defend Donald Trump either if I were you, personally. You're muted still, by the way. I'll give you an opportunity. I'll give you 30 seconds to figure it out. Just press your low profile picture here and unmute. All right, we're leaving. We're letting her go. Couldn't figure out the mute button. If you can't figure out the mute button, then God, man, I can't believe you're voting. I'm sorry, that was a joke. Yo, JW, oh, bro, what the fuck? Yo, JW, thank you for the $100 saying, I swear you deal with so much, Kamala is going to win. Please fill the chat with W's for JW. I need at least 100 W's in the chat for JW. Holy, that is crazy. Please fill the chat with W's for JW. He's always supporting the lives, ladies, gents, boys, and girls. Please show him some love. I appreciate it so much, JW. You're the man. It means the world. Thank you so much, my man. God. Lee, thank you for the $25. Hi, Harry. Do you use Election Lab? What are your thoughts so far on early voting? Keep up the good work. I don't, actually. I'm not familiar with what that is. I'll have to take a look. But thoughts on early voting? I think we've seen Republicans peak. That's why you're seeing a lot of Republican numbers, whereas Democrats are kind of like staying steady. And I think it's a better trend for Democrats than peaking too early, because if they have peaked and they're not going to be gaining much more, then that's a tough hill to climb for Republicans. But then again, I have no idea. A lot of the independent vote, we don't know who they're voting for. So they could be voting all Trump. They could be voting all Harris. It's like still up in the air. Andrea, thank you for the $5. Voted blue down the ballot through early voting in AZ this week. Andrea, I'm so glad to hear that. Make sure your friends, family, and loved ones are doing the same in your great state of Arizona. We just had that lunatic up here from Arizona. If you could, I know you're putting in the work, though. You're doing everything you can. You're amazing. I appreciate you a lot. Important state you got going on down there. Megan, thank you for the $15. Trump's speech tonight was unhinged. He said electing Harris will unalive thousands of people. He also said the media must have a death wish following him around and going to his rallies. I can't believe the election is closed. Thank you for what you do. I can't either, Megan, to be completely transparent. I can't either. It's crazy. But thank you for the $15. His speech was unhinged. And Janet, thank you for the $1. Here's to hoping MAGA Michelle is sleeping right now. God, I mean, you'd hope so, right? God, she's crazy. Brianna, thank you for the $5 towards that Rolex. Yeah, apparently the DNC is giving me a Rolex now. Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, okay. Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio. If you want to support the live. Gunner says, Harry, I'm a Republican, but your interview with Steiny was great. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. That's actually very kind. If you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk. Or maybe I'll just pick somebody from the box this time. Again, only request up if you are MAGA, because we're only looking for some debates. But yeah, everybody go check out the Steiny podcast. I was on it. If you follow me on Snapchat, you'd know that I was on. Snapchat link in bio, by the way, or just Harry J. Sisson on Snapchat, and Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube, and TikTok. All right, let's bring up this guy. Let's see if he's here. I don't know. Maybe he disappeared. Jess is saying, MAGA, choose me. All right, let's see if Jess is requesting up, because I think this guy disappeared. Jess, I can't invite you for some reason. So I think Weem says he wants to come up. All right, let's bring up this guy. Look at that person in the chat saying just block if you disagree. I don't remember the last time I blocked somebody on TikTok. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Hello?
Howdy.
Are you MAGA?
Yes, sir. Big time.
What state are you voting in?
Utah.
Gotcha. So why are you MAGA?
Because I am a blue collar dude and I worked my ass off, and when Trump was in, I was getting paid hella good, and now I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and it fucking sucks.
Okay, so where would you want to start in that conversation? What Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have done, or what Trump's going to do? I'll let you choose.
He's going to take off taxes on overtime. I work 40 hours overtime, if not more, and I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. It sucks.
Project 2025 calls for getting rid of overtime pay.
Well, Trump definitely had some good things going on, and
So what did Trump do to make the economy good?
he lowered the gas prices. Like,
How did he do that?
I'm not sure. Like,
Because he didn't actually. The president can't just lower gas prices. So when Trump lies to you and says, "Oh, I made the economy great. I lowered gas prices," that's utter nonsense.
It was good when he was in. It was shitty, and then it was good, and then now it's real shitty.
Yeah, so he inherited Obama's economy. So he took credit for all of the economic gains that Obama put into place following the 2008 recession. And then he tries to tell folks like yourself that he's great and that he somehow managed to bring the country back, when in reality, that's not true. He didn't actually do anything to help the economy.
I honestly feel like he did. And
Okay, can you point to something?
I personally can't. Like, I'm not real big into, politics, but I do stand for Trump for sure.
No, I understand you stand for Trump, but the point is that neither can Trump. You're saying like, yeah, I can't point to anything. Neither can he. Neither can he. That's the problem. Like, this guy doesn't even know. He can't cite any accomplishments that have helped you. He can't cite any accomplishments that helped anybody, quite frankly, except the ultra wealthy and, the people that have all the cash.
Yeah. I don't know, honestly, because like I say, I don't really just dive deep and go do all this research. And
well, let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. And let's just maybe see if we can agree on something. If, for example, there were a candidate out there saying, let's give $25,000 in down payment assistance for first-time home buyers to make it easier for them to buy a house. And also on top of that, let's build 3 million new housing units by working with contractors, giving them tax incentives to do so, to provide more housing to the American people, which would then, in turn, lower the cost of your average house in the United States. Would you agree with a policy like that?
There's got to be some kind of catch. Nobody's going to give millions of people like $25,000. Like, it doesn't.
There's no catch. It's that you have to be a first-time home buyer. Let's just say, like, you have to be a first-time home buyer. You got to pay your rent for, on time 2 years in a row, and you have to be like, fall in a certain income bracket. You can't be like uber wealthy. You have to be somebody who's like working hard, like maybe like yourself, for example.
That's all cool and stuff. But here's the thing: is all these other expenses we have and the way we're getting paid, and like we don't get paid good. Like,
no, I hear you. But like, being able to invest in a house would increase your net worth, your wealth. So would you agree with a policy like that? And I have more to like see if maybe we have some common ground.
Maybe, like,
okay, so
I would, but like I'm all about helping everybody. Just our people, Americans. We need to make America strong before we go sending all this money to Ukraine. And
okay, and what about a policy that increases the standard deduction for small businesses from $5,000 a year to $50,000 a year, which kind of eliminates that financial barrier that exists for people who want to start a small business? Would you support a policy like that?
Possibly, but like,
okay. And one more thing. Would you support a tax cut for the middle class affecting around 100 million Americans? Again, folks like yourself who are kind of living paycheck to paycheck. Would you support that?
Maybe, but Trump's already doing all this. Like,
well, so just to be clear, all the policies I just mentioned is what Kamala Harris is proposing. Donald Trump does not have a housing policy. He does not have a small business policy. And in terms of tax cuts, he keeps saying he wants to cut certain taxes, but doesn't talk about how he's going to pay for it. So all the things you just said that you might agree with, that you feel somewhat positively toward, is what Kamala Harris wants to do. She's quite literally focusing on folks like yourself. People who are working paycheck to paycheck, people who've been forgotten for far too long now, where again, Donald Trump just wants to give another tax cut to the wealthy. He said it at Mar-a-Lago. He was surrounded by wealthy buddies and said, God, you're so rich, I'm going to give you another tax cut. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I don't know, because Trump goes out and he goes to these farms, he goes to these big jobs, and he kind of sees what's going on and goes to these, and he does support small businesses. And I haven't seen Kamala do any of that.
But here's the thing. Trump will show up at these places and he'll take a photo op like he did at McDonald's recently. But the fact is, he'll do that, but when it comes time to actually implement change and fight for that change, he folds. Never does it. He was asked at McDonald's, would he support raising the federal minimum wage, which still today stands at $7.25 an hour, which is crazy. He dodged the question, wouldn't answer it. What? I mean, you know, and he also wants to put tariffs, all these different tariffs on countries abroad, which would increase give a tax hike to your average American family of around $4,000 every single year. That's not helping the middle class. That's not helping you. That'll help the wealthy. They'll make a bunch of money from their businesses doing well and whatnot. And but you won't. So Kamala Harris is thinking about people like you. That's what I'm trying to convey to you. Is like, you're living paycheck to paycheck. The Republican Party does not care about you. They do not care about you. Trump does not care about you. He grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. He has never known what it's like to be concerned about paying your bills or living paycheck to paycheck. Never. Kamala Harris has. That's all.
Well, I'm not like I say, big into politics, and I just wish people would get out and go kind of see how it is to work their asses off and get just treated like shit. And the big part of the Democrat side is like everybody's going all like I don't know how to put this, like pronoun type shit that that's not what we humans were meant to be. Like, God didn't send us here to be whatever. He chose our gender, and he put us on earth to love each other and build each other. And
well, I mean, just to be clear, you have pronouns as well.
Yeah. So. USA, Trump, those are my pronouns.
Do you know what a pronoun is?
I do. It's my pronouns are he, him.
Oh, okay. You actually do know what a pronoun is, yeah?
No, I do, and I don't go by them. Like, I'm not gonna go around saying I'm a he, him. Like, and another thing is like we get this stuff shoved in our face so much nowadays.
You really don't.
And it's all over social media, like trends, and like it's just, and we're out here working our asses off building the country, and we see this shit that people never even touched a shovel or nothing in their life. Like,
do you understand that there are plenty of transgender people out there who are working just as hard as you?
What are they doing?
Working jobs.
I haven't seen one.
Yeah, you know why? Because you can't tell.
They're all these big influencers, or like they don't do anything except take money from the working class.
How does that make sense?
They go on.
How are they taking money from the working class? All right, man. You have a good rest of your night. All right. I think we've exhausted the resources there. you have a good rest of your night, bro. You'll be all right. You have fun. Go ahead, bro. You're good. Okay. Wow. Yo, Leah, thank you for the $10. Thank you for educating me every day. Kamala 2024 from Florida. Also, I don't understand the people who can't pronounce Kamala's name. Bugs me. Yeah, me too. It's just like they look very silly when they just can't pronounce somebody's name. It's crazy. Eric, thank you for the $10. Voting blue in rural Iowa. There's a noticeable lack of Trump signs this time around. Hope that's a good sign. I hope so too. Fingers crossed. Deborah, thank you for the $5. The world is a scary place with Trump supporters. We should talk about mental health more often. Damn right we should. I mean, if you're in that cult, man, you're supporting you're part of the cult, therapy might be a good thing for you. Jennifer, thank you for the $35, Jennifer. Get some W's for Jennifer in the chat. Thanks for what you do. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Jennifer. That's incredibly kind. $35. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you. Quite frankly, I appreciate you, Jennifer. W's for Jennifer in the chat. I appreciate that. Mark, thank you for the $5. Utah man voting for Kamala. Well, you'll cancel his vote out. There you go. Turner, thank you for the $5. We'll love watching these lives each night. Helps the stress of the upcoming election by seeing MAGA lunatics get destroyed. Keep being awesome, Harry. Turner, you keep being awesome as well. Keep doing all the good work that you are doing. I appreciate the $5. Philip, thank you for the $10. Any tips on how to make JW type money? JW's just doing well for himself, I suppose. He's a great guy. I appreciate that, Philip. And finally, Tanner with the $2. My man, Harry, thank you so much for the raid the other night for my friend. Can we do it again? His name is Pickles GG's. By the way, voting first for Kamala in my first election ever. That's awesome. We'll see you live at the end of the night and do a raid there. Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio. Drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all of the time. Let me see. We are 97 followers away from 400 for the night. So if 97 people want to drop a follow right now, that'd be great. Also, double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 900,000 likes. And also, here's Chris Mowry, big Trump supporting lunatic freak. Shut up, Chris. Shut up is what they say.
Good to see you,
Just
Harry.
shut the hell up.
Good. Excuse me. Good to see you. For people saying, there's some anxiety around the election. I just got back, long day, from the Kamala Harris rally in Atlanta, Georgia, with Bruce Springsteen, Tyler Perry, Barack Obama. Let me tell you something, okay? First of all, I've lived in Georgia my entire life. I've never seen this much outward support for Democrats, bless you, ever. Okay, when I'm in a pretty red area in Georgia today, I walk in with a Harris Walls flag and the old white dude staring at me. I said, oh no, he's about to fight me. And he goes, people assume I'm voting for Trump because I'm an old white dude, but nice hat. That's a good sign. When I'm seeing Harris Walls flags in places I would never expect, that's a good sign. When today at the rally, 20,000 deep, packed to the brim. The section behind me was supposed to be empty for security reasons. She started speaking at like 7:30 p.m. By 4 p.m., they decided to open up that section because there was just so many people and they had already filled it. Okay, you can go watch my most recent video on my page where there's a little snippet of a video I took of Barack Obama walking out. It's packed. It's packed to the brim. She's going to carry this goddamn state. Georgia's going to go blue. I put my life on it. Now, I don't know about other states. Harry, people over in Nevada or Pennsylvania, that's not my issue, but I do. No, but seriously, though, the electricity in Georgia, I got a lot of cool videos there. Barack Obama was absolutely killer. Tyler Perry was great. I don't know who Bruce Springsteen is, but he was cool.
What the fuck?
Hey, relax, buddy. All right, what's up, Tyler?
I've seen Bruce Springsteen in concert.
I was kidding.
No, this guy does. Obviously, he's not kidding. This guy's just like uncultured. He doesn't know who the boss is. What a terrible people. Tyler, my man, why you MAGA?
Honestly, I'm kind of like in the middle, but more towards Trump.
Okay, why are you more towards Trump?
Mainly for my religious beliefs.
Okay, how do your religious beliefs make you want to vote for Trump? I just made a video about this the other day, so I'm curious what you have to say here.
It didn't really sit well with me. Kamala's whole "you don't belong here." My bad. It didn't sit well with me. Her comments about, you're at the wrong rally.
So they were chanting pro-life things at her, anti-abortion things, and they were calling her a liar. And so that's why she said, you're at the wrong rally.
Oh, from my understanding, it was the whole crisis king.
No, it wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with religion. It was the fact that they were chanting pro-life, anti-abortion things and calling her a liar. Do you think that if people did that at Trump's rally and were screaming "crisis king," that you'd keep them there, or do you think you'd kick them out?
I think he would keep them there.
So if I go to Trump's rally, I can just chant that he's a liar, he's a fraud, and all this stuff, and you think he'd keep me there as long as I
misunderstood you. I thought you were saying that if they were chanting "crisis king," that he would kick him out.
No, I'm asking you, like, if I was calling Trump a liar and screaming at him in the middle of the rally, do you think he'd keep me there or what?
No, he'd kick you out.
Okay, so there you go.
It honestly is my first election. Last time I would have voted for Biden, and I
live in a society.
What the fuck happened the past 4 years that would have switched you from Biden to Trump?
Mainly the economy and how Biden is.
Can you tell me what? All right, I don't even listening, but I just can't. What did Donald Trump do for the economy, man? Tyler, what did Donald Trump do for the economy, man?
You guys are cutting out for me. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, what were you saying, Chris?
I said, what did Donald Trump do for the economy?
Honestly, I don't know because.
Okay, so that's a problem. That's like cause and effect is a really big thing.
Y'all rocking with the drip. I'm sorry.
Drip's fire.
I'm more in the middle. I would I grew up in a very Republican family. That's another reason why I would be voting for Trump.
What state are you voting in, if you don't mind me asking?
In Washington.
Okay. So like again, like I think cause and effect is super important. Like when you talk about Trump's like economy, like even though economically he may have been doing better, it's important to find out why.
Okay.
So like, you know, Barack Obama passed a lot of like important legislation, had 72 straight months of private sector job growth. I'm like, you know, passed an $830 billion recovery act. Like, I'm not sure Donald Trump really passed that much like legislation that causes the economy to be good. And like Biden Harris passed like significantly more legislation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm not as educated as you guys are. I'm just trying to learn more and get other people's point of view. Like,
no, that's fair. Yeah, I think like Donald Trump really didn't do that much, and he also like is been found liable for sexual abuse and is a convicted felon, and tried to overturn an election he didn't win. So he's like really dangerous.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tend to sit in either your live, Harry's live, or Parker's live, and trying to see both sides, because I hear a lot of like Republicans speaking at like dinner every night, and compared to, you know, coming on here, there's not a lot of people that really give you guys good debates. So that's why I just wanted to join and kind of.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I guess we'll cycle a few guys up here. I mean, Tyler, you're more than welcome back, like anytime. I just think, I'd certainly argue, like, look up some, you know, Trump legislation and versus like Harris legislation that's been like much more significant and a more divided time.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Have a great night.
All right, man. You too. Be safe.
You too.
What do you say, Chris? Why? I know that look, man. I know that. God, I want to do something that I can't say on TikTok live. Jumping out of a building.
Like play Black Ops 6 because it's out.
BO6. I'm running it right now. I'm running.
He said I'm fucking around. I'm looking at the.
I'm literally clutching.
I'm literally clutching. Yo, is Tyler still in here? Or like,
you know, it's always so funny when people are like, you know, I have to like show my ID to buy alcohol, but I don't have to show my ID to vote. And it's like, yeah. So where in the Constitution does it say it's a constitutional right to buy alcohol? Just out of curiosity.
What the fuck?
Just let's bring up Nat. I feel like we talked to Nat a while.
But I mean, Tyler didn't. He said that he didn't really know much. So I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, let's bring up the real Ryan Garcia.
Oh my God, they have gunfight in the fucking game. They have gunfight in the game. Oh my God, and there's different maps. There's different maps. There's fucking.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my.
I still have to go ride the Peloton and lift. Chris.
No, Harry. No, you got to get on. We're doing wagers. We're doing gunfight wagers.
No.
No, we are. I don't care. I don't care what you say. We're doing gunfight wagers.
Listen.
Harry,
Jasmine,
please, we waste money on so much stupid shit as two 22-year-olds. Please do gunfight wagers with me, please.
But what?
I'm begging.
Jasmine, thank you for the $25. Right when you think MAGA can't get any dumber, they say something
Harry,
like,
please, I'll give you anything.
It's what they do, Jasmine. They always turn it back to like the culture war crap. You know what I'm saying? It's always something like that. So I appreciate the $25. Daniel, thank you for the $5. I keep trying to put up Natalie or whatever. There she goes. Daniel, thank you for the $5. Donating to you is more effective than donating to the DNC. You are incredible. What do you think about that, Chris?
I have no comment.
No, I think I appreciate that, Daniel. That's really kind. Lauren, thank you for the $10 from this transgender girl who works a normal job. Yeah, guys, like I've never seen a transgender American work in a job. It's like, well, yeah, you don't notice that they're trans, right? Because that's the whole point. And there you go, Lauren. You're the shining example of somebody out there that's working hard. You're just trying to live your life and be happy, man. It's crazy how people care so much about this shit. It is a beautiful thing. Coral, thank you for the $5. Question for you. Trump claims he has nothing to do with Project 2025. If that were true, why hasn't he sued the Heritage Foundation for libel? Texans for Kamala Walls. Lots of love to you, Harry. Well, yeah, of course, Trump loves Project 2025. And it's also so funny when he always tries to say, like, oh, I don't like it, but his policies like are identical to Project 2025. It's just crazy. Ashley, thank you for the $10. Voting blue in Pennsylvania.
Oh my God, I love you, Ashley. I love you. Oh my God, Ashley, I love you.
Ashley, you're my hero.
Wow. Wait, I'm not your hero.
No. Declan, thank you for the $1. I'm a trans guy that works in the auto industry. Exactly. There you go.
He said, no.
Melissa, thank you for the $5. Voted today in Florida for Kamala. I love hearing that. That's amazing. Stephanie, thank you for the $5.
Could you relax?
Their
Holy
low
shit.
IQs are showing.
Why don't you relax there, champ? Why don't you relax?
Thank you, Stephanie, for the $5. And finally, Ashlyn, thank you for the $1. Donnie, drones are going down. We appreciate you. And Venmo Cash App in the link in the bio if you want to support the live.
Why are you voting for Trump?
Nat, why are you voting for Trump here? Also, drop a follow if you haven't already.
Because we saw no new wars under him. We saw wages go up, new legislative accomplishments, largest middle class tax cut, child care, tax credit. We were exporting more natural gas than importing.
That's just not true.
That's not true. There's a lot you said, but
policies regarding the mass deportation, and anyone that comes back will have 10 years plus prison. So,
what the? Holy shit! This is so draconian.
Can I ask a question really quick?
That's a fact.
No, I'm sure he said it. It's just incredibly draconian.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 23.
Okay, so let's start with the oil, because I think that this is a big part of his economic plan, being energy independent. I mean, we're a net exporter of oil for the first time in 70 years under the Biden administration. We're producing more oil than right now and than ever before in human history. About 1.1 million more barrels a day than under Donald Trump.
You know that?
And that's the only thing you had to say in everything.
No, we're gonna get to everything, but
yeah, I was just starting somewhere.
Did you know that?
So then continue. Next point.
Well,
you're going to continue.
Are you going to engage on that point, or?
Didn't feel like I needed to.
Well, I feel like it's really key. Didn't you mention something about oil in there, or was it natural gas? What was it?
Well, if you just think you're right, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you.
Well, no. I mean, it's not that I think I'm right. Hold on. It's not that I think
you're right. So you can just continue.
Wait. It's not that I think I'm right. There's one person here who's factually correct and one person who is wrong. This is not opinion based, right? So every single month, when the Energy Information Administration, the government agency, releases their information on how much oil we've produced, they give numbers based on federal and state data, and then comparing that data to what all the people producing oil say, and then they release it every month since the beginning of fucking time. So right now they're saying that we're producing more oil than ever before. We're a net export of oil for the first time in 70 years. So this whole lie that Donald Trump spits about being energy independent or exporting oil is just a lie. All right, next point.
What were the other? So what's Natalie? What's Nat or Nat?
My name's not Natalie.
Sorry, I keep calling you now. I apologize, Nat. And what were the other points you brought up? You said what else you bring up? Tax cuts, something like that.
Mm-hmm. The middle class tax cut, which personally affected me, which I.
Do you think your taxes have gone up under Joe Biden?
Yes. Yeah, they seriously have.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so
I have an announcement to make. We're still under Donald Trump's tax plan.
I do know that, yeah.
So you're supporting a tax law that's raised your taxes?
Just because a few of his policies that are still in place that Biden kept, he added on to them. And the reason that the inflation is the way it is because Biden and Harris administration spent $6 to $7 trillion in unnecessary federal spending.
Trump has more 10-year borrowing than Joe Biden does, almost double.
That's a fact, so that's why you're not responding to it.
No, I actually am responding to you by saying that over 10 years, Donald Trump has double the borrowing that the Biden administration has.
And where's your source on that? Because I'm not just going to believe everything you say.
It's Axios. I can pull up the article for you if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, Harry, go ahead and pull up that article. I mean, yeah, Donald Trump increased the deficit by $7.8 trillion. I certainly don't think that the Biden-Harris administration the cause of inflation had anything to do with government borrowing. I would actually ask for, after Harry shows you this, I would actually ask you for any source that would suggest that inflation's main cause was government spending, because I don't think that source exists.
So here's from Axios. You can see that over a 10-year period, for Trump, he has in non-COVID 4.8 trillion, whereas Biden has 2.2 trillion, and in COVID relief, Trump has 3.6 trillion, whereas Joe Biden has 2.1 trillion. That's the data comes from Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget.
That says reader available. That doesn't give me like a site.
Would you reader? Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's Axios. It's Axios.com. The article is called "Trump Ran Up National Debt Twice as Much as Biden." New analysis, published June 24th, 2024 by Axios.
Okay.
So the whole debt thing, like Trump ran up the deficit every single year, and the tax cuts that you're citing, by the way, also ran up the deficit every single year. It reduced the amount of federal revenue we bring in every single year, which then we're still spending as much, but we're taking less in, creating a deficit. So Trump, spent a bunch of cash, unfortunately. So
let me ask you guys then, what has Kamala done that has convinced you that she'll be a great candidate or a great president?
So she's incredibly qualified for the job. She was district attorney in San Francisco, then attorney general of California, in both of these roles.
All the things she did as DA?
Like what?
Yeah, I'm asking, do you know?
Yeah, so she did a couple of things as DA. I mean, obviously her main role was enforcing the law and prosecuting people who broke the law.
Not just the stuff she could be credited for. I mean,
yeah, so something like the Back on Track program that she started as district attorney of San Francisco, which essentially for first-time nonviolent drug offenders, the city of San Francisco.
Releasing violent offenders.
Could I just 1 second? For nonviolent drug offenders, for first-time offenders, that is. The city would offer the ability to expunge their records if they went to high school or college, got a degree, and then started working a job. So if they became a productive member of society, their records would be expunged, which is a good thing. It's rehabilitation, not punishment for some of these less severe crimes. So that's one thing, that an initiative she started as district attorney, which was good.
And she's definitely proven that she's been soft on crime by, for example, releasing violent offenders that ended up unaliving people and raping women. Harris also refused to seek the death penalty against a man.
Anti-death penalty.
I'll let you finish.
Well, you didn't really, but she's anti-death penalty, by the way. That's why.
She refused to, I understand that, against a man suspected of being I don't know if I can say this on TikTok, gang member.
Okay.
Edwin Ramos, who, I hate saying pew-pew, but who pew-pewed and unalived a father and his two sons, even though California allows the state to seek unaliving penalty for multiple murders, unalivings by the same person. Mm-hmm. Not only Ramos did that, but he was also previously charged with robbing a pregnant woman. So she refused to do any of that.
Yeah, she didn't seek the death penalty because she's anti-death penalty.
Okay, I understand, but he didn't get any type of long-term prison either. She's proven she's been soft on crime, and we don't need that.
Wait, are you telling me that this guy that killed people and was proven guilty of killing people didn't get prison time?
I didn't say he didn't get prison time at all. I said he didn't get long-term prison time.
What's his name?
Edwin Ramos.
Edwin Ramos, spelled
R-A-M-O-S. Yeah.
R-A-M-O-S.
Why do you? As Harry pulls this up, why do you say that's...
He was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Okay.
So I guess she's not very soft on crime, right? So she did stuff like that. She was tough on crime, but she was also wanted to rehabilitate. I just can't believe it. She wanted to rehabilitate nonviolent drug offenders, which I think is good. And then as attorney,
I'll admit that I said that one without looking into it. So I'm kind of laughing at myself too.
That's okay.
I don't really give a fuck what anybody thinks. That was naive of me, but
could have taken a different approach.
That's fair. What can I ask? Why do you say when you were she's soft on crime? That's not what we need right now.
No, but there are a lot of things that I have looking into that has proven that she is soft on crime.
Why do you say that's not something? You said that's not what we need right now. Can you expand on that?
It's not what we need in a world leader. We need somebody who's firm, somebody who will take action when it's necessary, someone who
So would you say that you wouldn't want somebody who's like called for defunding law enforcement to be president?
Do you understand she did that?
I'm not asking about a specific person. I'm just asking, like, generally, do you think that if somebody called for defunding any form of law enforcement, you'd be against that for president?
Yes.
Yeah, so then why are you voting for Donald Trump, who called for the defunding of the FBI and the Department of Justice?
Because there are corrupt people in there and he wants to take them out.
So we can defund some police.
No, just certain individuals who are corrupt and need to lose their job.
He didn't talk about certain individuals. He said we have to defund the FBI.
It's okay for Kamala to defund the police because she
Kamala
did
Harris
that
has actually
well.
never called for defunding the police.
And she also said it was silly or stupid. I can pull up the quote.
But
to put more police out on the streets to keep people safe. She said that was stupid. So
I think she was talking about SSROs in schools, which are like police officers and stuff. She's against that policy. She wants just more common sense gun reform. But again, just to be clear, like, Trump called for the defunding of the FBI.
Do you understand how many police academies stand behind Trump? Like, he does not want to defund.
Well, I mean, I'm sure all the police officers who got beaten on January 6th stand behind Trump, right?
To take the corruption.
Let me ask you this.
Which is a good thing. Do you disagree with that? That's not a good thing?
What can you say it again? What are you asking about?
Taking the corruption out of the FBI or the CDC.
Yeah, but like, what corruption in the FBI?
Do you sleep under a rock?
There's no corruption in the FBI.
Please, if it's so obvious, please identify the corruption in the FBI.
Oh my gosh.
Because, by the way, it's currently led by somebody that Donald Trump appointed. I don't know if you knew that. His name is Christopher Wray. So is like Trump appointing corrupt people now, or what's going on?
I'll have to look into who's the head of that.
It's Christopher Wray.
Word for it.
It's Christopher Wray.
Oh yeah, I think that just because like the Republicans
but I'm really not going to take your word for it. I will look it up.
like Republicans keep talking about like how there's corruption in the FBI. I said it was like really obvious. So like just any type of like anything on that, because there is no corruption in the FBI.
Yeah, that's the problem. There is none. The FBI is like really important.
Yeah, Donald Trump just like says that because his like Mar-a-Lago gets raided because he like steals classified documents and is on audio admitting to it, and then he just calls them corrupt. It's part of the whole charlatan act where like Donald Trump, the playboy billionaire who's been spoon-fed his entire life, is somehow on the outs and being attacked by the deep state. That motherfucker is the deep state, bro. Like, what? It's all part of like an act
that you fall for, unfortunately. It's kind of crazy. What state are you voting in? Illinois. Okay.
Let me
God love your blue state and JB Pritzker. God love your blue state.
Can I ask you a question really quick? Can I ask you a question? Like, so 40 of Donald Trump's 44 hand-selected cabinet members are not endorsing him, which is like the first time that's something like that has ever happened in history.
Okay, that's cool. Honestly, I'm just going to say I can pull up whatever fact. I can even say it's from congress.org or gov, excuse me. And I have a ton of fucking notes that are all facts, and they're all from Congress or Senate or congresscommission.gov. It's all .govs.orgs, whatever the fuck. But you guys will still say that I'm lying.
No, I don't think that's true. I mean, I think we can have a conversation.
When you have like a such huge live like this, and people are sitting here like fucking being real shitty.
Please, I mean, look, people being rude to you in the comment, we obviously don't endorse that. Unfortunately, like,
I'm not saying you endorse it, but I'm just.
I know. I'm just pointing. Like, that's unfortunately the nature of the live, and like, if anybody's being rude to you, obviously we're against that. We don't want. Oh, she left.
Oh, well, I kind of feel bad. But yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I do appreciate you coming up here. I mean, 40 of Donald Trump's 44 cabinet members are not endorsing him. His longest-serving chief of staff said he was essentially said he was a fascist. His top military general that he hand selected, literally top of the top advisor military general, said that he was a dictator and no concept of foreign policy. So I do think it's important, like, that the people that he picks think he's bad.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ryan, thank you for the $1. What game would you running BO6? I'm going to stream snipe you.
Bro, Harry is going to agree to get on, and he's gonna run wagers on Gunfight.
thank you for the $1. We're gonna play gunfight all night.
Will you actually run wagers with me though?
We'll see.
Dude, I know. Come on, bro. Like at this point,
excuse me,
if
Rebecca,
you and I
excuse
can spend
me,
$9
right there.
Listen,
stop talking.
Listen,
no,
listen
here's what you're gonna do. Here's
you're gonna you're gonna be quiet. Okay, I spend.
He's about to say something way more rude.
I know. I spend like $4 a day, and it's partly because of the beautiful people up here. We love you. You guys are always so supportive, and it means the entire world. But I spend like $4 a day on caffeine and I drink like 500 milligrams of caffeine a day. I can substitute one of those things to play a little bit of wagers, or you get like a $9 acai bowl because you're in love with acai bowls.
I love
Maybe
them.
just wager, bring some dopamine. So we can
I don't know. I think an acai bowl.
He's on my left, diffusing.
An acai bowl is a good investment because I get protein powder in it,
and wagers are a good investment.
So listen, excuse me. Can you just stop talking while I talk about my routine? I go in the nighttime. I'll ride the Peloton,
in the
do some cardio,
bro,
and then I'll lift, and then I'll go to sleep, get some good rest. Very good. And then I'll get a acai bowl with fruit, a lot of fruit. And some protein powder to make me retain my muscle, retain big muscle.
Bro, you don't have any big muscle, bro.
Let's arm wrestle, Chris. When next time I see you,
dude, I'm not arm wrestling you, bro.
Yeah, because this guy, you guys should see this guy. He's built like a stick. It's terrible.
All right, bro. All right,
Liam, thank you for the $1.
Excuse
me. Also voting Kamala here in Western Pennsylvania. Can't believe Trump disrespected my Steelers on Instagram. Oh man. Voting in Western Pennsylvania. I love that. We got to run up the mark.
Honestly, I think
can Chris just stop fucking talking?
Yo, shut the fuck up. Appreciate you. I think that's the only acceptable thing Trump's ever done is disrespect the Steelers because, the Steelers.
We're trying to have him vote for Kamala, buddy. I don't know if you're actually like familiar with this whole like get out the vote kind of thing. Anyway, by the way, Chris can't lift 8-pound weights. No offense to anybody that can't lift 8-pound weights, of course, but Chris just happens to be somebody who brags about lifting like 35s, doesn't do 8s. It's terrible. Liam, thank you for the $1. Alexis, thank you for the $2. Tuesday, my husband and I early voted in Louisiana and voted Harris Walls. Also didn't vote for Mike Johnson. Won't help much, but trying to be on the right side of history. You're doing your part. You're doing your civic duty. We appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. Sally, thank you for the $5. Early voted down ballot in the Bible Belt of North Carolina.
Let's fucking go.
Golly. God, thank you, Sally, for doing that. I appreciate you voting in North Carolina. Get your friends, family, loved ones to vote in North Carolina. Oh, by the way, you have same-day registration in North Carolina. You can still register to vote and vote in North Carolina. So make sure to do that if you live in the state. Roxy, thank you for the $1. She was on Parker today. I saw some people in the comments saying that. McKenna B, $1. How do I find a partner who is as intelligent, empathetic, and supports women's rights like you? If you couldn't tell, I admire you. McKenna, I appreciate it.
Oh my God, I love you so much. I wish I could find a boyfriend who is just like you. He said, I'm
right here.
I'm right here, bro.
Right here. No, McKenna, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Courtney, thank you for the $10. Another vote for rating Pickles GG's whenever you end. He's fantastic, deserves it, and was so appreciative last time. Also, please ask Chris to do a Venmo check. Love you guys. Chris, do a Venmo check, buddy.
Venmo check.
Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate you. I will definitely do that. Bonetta, thank you for the $5, saying, yo, Harry, watch your interview debate thing with Emily, the conservative MAGA. You did so well, spoke clearly, and had good points. Emily's arguments were so weak, routed in feelings. It was ridiculous. My friends and I were pained watching her response. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. That's very kind. Please throw some W's for her in the chat. $50 is crazy. I appreciate you. And thank you for all that you do as well. Sydney, thank you for the $10. Early voted for Harris Walls in Georgia. That's amazing to hear.
Sydney,
Georgia, it's looking...
No, stop. I'm in Georgia, born and raised. I was at the Kamala Harris rally today. It's beautiful. It's a great thing. Thank you, Sydney. You're amazing.
If you mention the state of Georgia, Chris will somehow find a way to talk about how he was born and raised in Georgia. You could be talking about the country of Georgia.
I know it's super cool that you're in New York. I know it's super cool because I live in a swing state and you live in New York. Can I do a Venmo check real quick?
No, I'm almost done. Faith in Films, $1. Are you and Chris going to PA? Also let me up. Maybe PA. We'll see. Maybe. Essence, thank you for the $5. Stream you guys gaming. Well, Chris, I've asked Chris to do that. He actually didn't want to because he lost.
This guy fucking sucks.
I said let me play you in Madden, or excuse me, the NCAA on Twitch. You said I don't have a capture card, loser. Dessa, thank you for the $2 as well on Cash App. I appreciate you. Now I'm done. Go ahead, do your Venmo check.
What's up, man?
Yo, hey man, give me just 1 second, real quick, guys. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, Harry and I both appreciate you so much. Really
Chris
quickly,
doesn't like you guys.
JW. $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much. Hey, Chris, did you get my donation the other night? Just hoping you did. Text me. I got you, JW. I appreciate you so much. I did. My live went down. Unfortunately, my phone died. It was a whole thing. It was bad.
Chris, did you hear?
Hold on, be quiet, thanks. Another JW. Can I get 100 W's in the chat? $100 on Venmo. That is fucking insane. From JW. Chris, Georgia going blue because of you, buddy. No, JW, from a lot of great people who are doing much harder work than me. But JW, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. It's never something I take for granted. Like, seriously, just the fact that you guys are here supporting, it means the absolute world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're the man, JW. Huge W's. Courtney, so good to see you. You're incredible. $10 on Venmo. There's never any pressure to support in this way. Just the fact that you're here, Courtney. It's so good to see you. How early should I show up if I want to get to the Houston rally tomorrow? Listen, today Kamala Harris was supposed to start at like 6:30. Well, the rally started at like 6:30. Kamala, sorry. Sorry. Kamala, wow, I'm actually so mean, dude. I'm so mean. No, I'm so mean, Harry Rocket. I'm mean. Sorry. Gordon, I'm so mean.
Y'all should have seen us in Raleigh, North Carolina. We walking up to ladies at the bar. Sorry.
That literally didn't happen one time. Courtney, thank you so much for $10 on Venmo. How early should I show up if I want to get to Houston rally? Listen, doors today in Atlanta opened at noon. By one-ish, the line wrapped like multiple blocks. Kamala Harris stepped on the stage at 8:30 p.m. Quite a long day. The rally like officially started at like 6 or 6:30. But yeah, man, the lines are long. The Secret Service is tight. So tomorrow, assuming same time, like 6:37, bro, oh my, assuming 6:37, I would show up at like 1 p.m. and send pictures. You're amazing. You got this. Drink plenty of water. Rebecca, so good to see you. You're incredible. $10 on Venmo. You and Harry need to come to a UW football game. I'm on the way. Rebecca, you're amazing. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see. It's always good to see you. Bro, you look so stupid. It's so good to see you. You're amazing. Truly, Rebecca, I appreciate you. Roxy, $1 on Venmo. She was on Parker today. Oh, Roxy, it's so good to see you. I appreciate you so much from the bottom of my heart. Jessica, thank you so much for $5 on Venmo. Guys, all of this goes such a long way. Like, truly, I don't take it for granted. Daily caffeine funding. Jessica, you're amazing. I need it because I'm a caffeine monster, frankly. Many people say, Chris, stop drinking. I say, no. And
girl, give me some because I need it. And if that...
Rocks Fox, I see you down there. I love you. You're incredible. Thank you so much. Kaylee, $5 for your caffeine. Fuck the acai bowl. Now we have $10 total for the caffeine and fuck the acai bowl. Instead,
Chris gets acai bowls all the time, too.
Go get an orange creamsicle Echo energy drink from the TikTok shop. Shut your mouth. Be quiet.
People are endorsing getting a goddamn popsicle energy drink instead of an acai bowl, which is fruit.
Hey, buddy, 0 calories, 0 sugar, 200 milligrams of caffeine. I drink 2 a day.
Now, I'm
not even sponsored by Echo, but I like Echo. What else is in that? Literally coconut water, some vitamins and minerals. That's it.
And then you're going to be like later in the day, Harry, I feel like shit.
Look at you right now on the camera. You look absurd. Thank you guys so much for the caffeine.
People in the chat are saying they like my hat.
I don't think anyone's saying that, bro. All right, guys, seriously, thank you for the caffeine funding. Lastly, Casey, so good to see you. $5 on Venmo. You're amazing. I'm so relieved to see you on tonight when your live ended abruptly 2 nights ago. I was worried. Love my little bros. Keep fighting. Casey, you're incredible. Yes, I apologize. I was in a bad mood, and then my phone died while I was like actively in a bad mood, so it looked like I just like quit. I didn't. I'm sorry. I actually hopped back on after that, but I think the live was busted. You guys are all so incredible. We appreciate you so much from the bottom of both of our hearts. Thank you. It's never taken for granted the fact that there's 5,000 people in here and you're just watching. It means the world. All right. The confusion maybe is your username.
Drop a follow if you haven't already. Double tap. Well, we already got up to 1.1. Let's try to get to 1.2. And Venmo Cash App in the link in the bio for me. Excuse me.
If you follow me right now, I'll annoy Harry all night. I'll tell him what a fucking loser he is. Sorry. I love all of you. Okay, why are you voting for Trump? Why?
Wait. Venmo Cash App in my link in the bio if you want to support the live. Okay, then I'm not going to shout out your Venmo and Cash App.
That's fine. Right. I'm not a grifter like you.
Okay. The confused trucker. Hello, you MAGA?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. Every time I went to hit the mic button, he started talking again. I'm like, holy fuck.
I know the guy doesn't shut the fuck up, doesn't he? It's terrible.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't mind.
I know. Well, sometimes it's not all right. Sometimes it's not.
I am, but I do have just a couple legitimate questions for you as far as Harris's tax plan. Well, it's actually Biden, so I haven't seen where she changed that proposal, but like the capital gains tax, for example, going to 44%. That's kind of crazy to me. What's your thoughts on that?
Like capital gains tax to 44?
Yeah, that's like you sell stock and almost half of it's in tax.
Yeah, but okay. So let me just.
I may be off on the percentage. It might be 40.
Yeah, I think
but-
that.
So Biden, So Biden's proposal was 44.6% for capital gains, but that specific rate to get that high, there's like several like caveats and several things you have to mix. So the source is quote. First, it raises the top ordinary rate to 39.6%. And then an additional proposal would increase the net investment income tax rate by 1.2 percentage points above 400,000. And together, those two proposals would increase the top marginal rate on long-term capital gains and qualified dividends to 44.6%. So again, like you're talking about, first of all, it would only come to fruition like through Congress through multiple different proposals. But it only applies to individuals with taxable income above $1 million and investment income above 400,000. And these are also like long-term capital gains. So you hold them for over 8 years. So again, like I don't think this is applying to many people, but if it were to come to fruition and your income was above $1 million and you sold your house that you owned for 5 years,
well, that brings me to my next point after that. But you're right. It is for higher income individuals. It wouldn't affect the general population. But don't you think that would drive industry and jobs away?
No, I think that there's a way to like, along with unrealized capital gains tax for those making like above 100. Yeah, 100 million. Like, I think it's like not reasonable as a society for us to keep going down this path of capitalism won't work if we like if we don't like.
You're right. You have to have incentives to do.
Yeah. No, I understand there needs to be incentives, but I don't like this idea that like capitalism won't work if we just don't give everything. We don't let Elon Musk do whatever he wants. Like you would agree that like, the effective tax rate for like billionaires like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg is like 5%, right? They write, Mark Zuckerberg last year made $1.6 million on his tax return. All of the rest of his billions of dollars, he like took out loans on collateral on his stock. So it's all debt and it can't be taxed. And he does that purposefully, and if Elon Musk is getting a bunch of loans, $46 billion in cash together to buy a social media company, and he's still being taxed at a rate as if he makes $1.6 million. That's not fair for the fact that the three of us right here are paying a much higher effective tax rate than those individuals, and the U.S. government could be making a lot more money. So yeah, I agree. It's like tricky because you want to make sure there's incentive, but like, I don't see why if you can go get a bunch of loans against your Tesla stock to buy a fucking social media company, I think you should have no problem paying unrealized capital gains to the federal government.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you there, but the unrealized capital gains tax, the unrealized gains tax, let me try that again, unless I read it wrong, was 25% proposal, but that was going to be for not just over a certain X amount of dollars per year. So I don't agree with it either way, because you buy your house and you never sell it. Well, it doubles in value. Now you're paying taxes on something you never sold.
Well, no, yeah. So the unrealized gains would strictly only apply to those with a net worth of above 100 million or a net worth of above $100 million.
I did see. I understand that, but I can't cite it for you. I'm sitting.
But you're saying the standard capital gains tax would move?
Well, it would be your standard unrealized gains, for you and I, so to speak.
But there are no standard unrealized gains for anyone right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would be applied to to us.
I certainly don't think that like.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah. I've not heard of any type of proposal like that. That's my understanding.
Well, if I get off of here and look quick, then do you mind looking real fast?
Yeah, I think you got to worry more about Trump and his tariffs, which would increase your tax around $4,000.
I agree 100% with especially okay.
Agree that his tariffs are bad, or agree that with his tariffs?
There's a time and a situation for tariffs. I'll give you the example where it would be bad. For us to tax Germany, for example, put tariffs on them would be stupid.
Sure.
So for us to tariff China at an ungodly high rate to use as leverage to force them to bring production over here or lower their goods prices would be a good thing. And I'll give you another example. Lyndon Johnson put an ungodly high tariff on Japan after World War II. Guess what's made in America now? Toyota trucks, because they couldn't afford to import them.
Okay, yeah, but there's like a difference between like, well, first of all, I want to point out that like 4 days ago, Forbes, what is unrealized capital gains tax, unpacking the quote economy killer proposal on the ultra wealthy. And it states here that like, she initially supported a 25% minimum tax on unrealized capital gains accrued by Americans with net worths of 100 million or more. And then now she's like changed it slightly, but it's still only for the $100 million net. The threshold is $100 million net worth.
Okay.
So that wouldn't
that
affect.
was my concern. Yes.
Yeah, but like the problem is like the tariffs Trump is suggesting, where he like floats like replacing income tax with tariffs, or these like really broad like 20% tariffs. Like that's like really makes no sense and is like very dangerous. There's a difference between like these very broad tariffs and like very like targeted tariffs.
Like you said about the capital gains passing through Congress, and there's a lot of hoops to jump through. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're very well aware that the president only has partially delegated powers for tariffs, right? Most of it goes through Congress, right? So what do you think the chances of that are happening are?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question, but I mean, I would like to. I mean, like, it's probably not like if his main economic policy is. If your argument for his main economic policy is it's bad, so it probably won't pass, that's probably not a good sign, right?
I didn't mean to read the comment. It just caught my eye, but I have to address it. Would you please explain that tariffs means that country pays an import tax, not us?
Wait, no, that's actually not true. So
that is very true.
No, it's not. United States businesses pay the tax on tariffs. So when Donald Trump levied Chinese tariffs, like we have a tariff on Chinese products, that means a U.S. business who wants to import a Chinese goods now has to pay an extra tax to the United States government to get it in the United States. There's no such thing as a tariff where another country is paying us to send us goods.
I'll agree to disagree because I understand what you're saying.
Well, let me ask you this. So what's like the point of a tariff? What's the goal of a tariff?
The goal of a tariff is to lower good prices, certain goods, whatever you're importing into the country, because it forces that country. I don't have anything to look it up, so I don't want to argue and say something that I can't.
No, it's like, I'm just trying to understand, like, fundamentally, like, even if that was the goal of a tariff to lower the cost of goods, like, why does China sending us money to send us goods lower the cost?
When you say it that way, it doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, that's why like that's why I really don't like Donald Trump, because he lies so often. One of the things he lies most about is like how tariffs work. So he constantly suggests that like if he levied these large tariffs, like China is paying for it or other countries are paying for it, but it's just fundamentally not true. Like the way the United States government makes money via tariffs is because U.S. businesses have to pay them money to get goods. And that's why all these economists agree it's going to cause inflation, because if you levy these like 20% overall tariffs on everybody, then to get a good in the United States, either a business is going to pay that extra 20% and pass it on to the consumer, or they're going to quit producing things and are getting things from China. They're going to produce it here, and that's going to be much more expensive. That's why Goldman Sachs.
The whole goal is to produce it here.
Well, I would argue that there's like way better like incentives to do that. So like under the Biden-Harris administration, they passed the CHIPS Act, which gave businesses tax cuts to like create computer chips, to create manufacturing facilities to create computer chips in the United States. We've seen like more investment in our manufacturing field for computer chips than ever in American history. We're on track by 2030 to have 20% of the market share of computer chips, when before the Biden-Harris administration, we had 0%. So like giving businesses like a lot of incentives, tax cuts to like do those things and let capitalism take over is like much better than forcing jobs to come here by like making things really expensive. You're going to, like Goldman Sachs said, we'd be facing recession by the middle of 2025, and like an inflation would increase 1.5% under these like very broad.
Favor quick.
Yeah.
Can you just Google tariffs as leverage?
Sure.
Also, after you're done, I'll ask the next one.
Tariffs as leverage.
Correct.
And what am I just like?
Well, what does the AI thing say? Because that's the first thing I can think of. I can't think of it ever.
Okay. Guys, double tap the screen. Appreciate everybody being here. Like, you're trying to figure out
what does it say? Read it word for word.
I'm trying to get to like a Jesus Christ. I'm not logged in to like ChatGPT, so here we go. Tariffs as leverage? Question mark.
Just whatever, yeah.
Using tariffs as leverage refers to the practice of imposing or threatening to impose tariffs on another country's goods in order to negotiate more favorable trade terms or compel that country to change certain policies. For example, the U.S. under Donald Trump imposed tariffs on Chinese goods with the goal of pressuring China to alter its trade practices, including issues around intellectual property theft and trade imbalances. The idea is that making imports from the targeted country more expensive, meaning that for a U.S. business to get a good, it makes it
I know what you mean,
more
yes.
expensive. It creates economic pressure on that country's businesses and government, which might then be more willing to make concessions. However, this approach can also backfire as the country facing tariffs may retaliate with their own tariffs, leading to trade wars, which also happened under Donald Trump, which can increase costs for consumers and businesses in both countries.
Well,
So again, there's like an idea of like using tariffs as leverage, but I don't think like Donald Trump right now is going around saying like we're going to put 20% tariffs, 40% tariffs, 90% tariffs. We're going to replace income tax with tariffs, and those are all just like very detrimental, nonsensical laws.
I agree with you. Replacing income tax with tariffs is just stupid. You would agree, though, that it can be in your favor if used correctly.
Yes. I mean, sure. Yeah.
Did you ever hear of the chicken tax on Germany years ago?
Mm-mm.
So the United States and Germany imposed tariffs on each other, and then I guess the U.S. got the upper hand because did you ever wonder why we don't have pickup trucks with just 2 seats? I mean, it sounds stupid, but just hear me out. Because they made it impossible for countries to import pickup trucks. They have to have like 2 or all the seats have to be attached, so to speak. So that backfired on Germany and helped us. Does that make sense?
Right. So like you're saying that like we weren't able to import trucks with 2 seats?
Well, they all have to be secured. Like they used to have the jump seats in the back years ago. You know what I mean?
Right. So that goes back like again to the idea of like, yes, they can be used as leverage in that specific scenario, but like to the beginning point about like who's paying the tariff, like the reason that no U.S. business, like the reason the U.S. government was able to do that, assuming it's true, is because they're making the tax to get a vehicle in the United States so expensive that no U.S. business can import it to sell. So again, like when you talk about like I was saying like no, tariffs are paid for by the importer. That's like really important to note on these like massive broad ideas of tariffs. Because again, like Joe Biden just implemented an 100% EV tariff on China. That's great because our EV market sucks compared to China. So right now, if a business, a Chinese business came to the United States and wanted to get their vehicles here to sell, they would crush the U.S. market. Like Tesla would be out of business. All of the EV manufacturers in the United States, like Ford and Kia that are trying to ramp up their EV production, they would be crushed. So he put an 100% tariff. So if a Chinese business comes here and tries to import it, it will cost double what it would in China to get here. You have to pay the full price of the vehicle and then an 100% tax, right? So it makes it impossible to have any Chinese electric vehicles in here for consumers or businesses, so we can protect our own markets. That's a reasonable use of tariffs. Again, I think that like that's fair, but this broad tariff idea.
It's huge, right? You're right, but I'm simply saying it can work. He just has to do it correctly.
Correct.
I guess my next point was the abortion thing. Didn't the left want it to be federally legal to make your own choice, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kamala just had an interview a couple days ago that said she wants to leave it to the states, right?
What? Where was she giving this interview?
I think it was ABC or NBC or something. You can actually look it up on TikTok. It's on here. When she was asked about that, she said, I think that people should be allowed to do what they want. That was her answer.
She didn't call for leaving it up to the states.
She absolutely did.
She did not.
But you can look it up.
Okay, what would you like me to look up right here?
Just look. I don't know, TikTok. It was on TikTok. It's the interview. I saw it on the television, but I can't.
Yeah, I just looked up Kamala Harris leave it up to the states. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm telling you, like, Kamala Harris does not agree with leaving abortion up to the states. She does not agree with that. She has said time and time again that she wants to reinstate the protections that came with Roe v. Wade, which protect abortion.
Actually, you know what?
Federally.
I have Dean's Live from yesterday. I have it screen recorded, and he cited it and showed it too. So I'll send it to you.
Sure. I'm telling you, she didn't say leave it up to the states.
I'm just saying he definitely agreed with whoever he was talking to. But either way, I don't care what anybody does, but I don't think the federal government should be involved either.
Well, that's pretty low.
Why would we not leave it up to the states?
Are you going to walk right in? So you're basically saying, like, if a state wants to decide or vote on something, they should be allowed to, especially like a right like that?
I mean, yeah, I think each individual state should make their own laws and not.
Hey, what about slavery? If a state wanted to bring back slavery, would you be okay with them voting on it?
No. Well, yeah, they could vote on it, but it ain't going to go through. I don't think that any of that's irrelevant.
Wait, hold on. If like all of Alabama wanted to bring back slavery, you'd be okay with them voting on that?
I'm not going down that rabbit hole. No, I would not be okay with that.
But would you want Alabama? Would you like want to leave that up to the states?
You can't, Harry, because it's
I agree you can. I'm totally there. I don't think it should be left up to the states. But via your view of like, I think, abortion should be left up to the states.
I don't mean just abortion in general. Anything that is not an amendment to the Constitution that cannot be changed. You see what I'm saying?
So do you think states should be able to vote on interracial marriage?
No, see, nope. Not going down that rabbit hole.
What do you mean?
I think
interracial marriage is not an amendment protected in the Constitution. It is an inferred right by the Supreme Court.
You are correct.
So if your definition of something that's not an amendment, okay, should states be able to vote on interracial marriage?
Hold on, because I'm going to give you. I want to say my answer is no. Now let me cite this. Anything that is not an amendment and specifically cited in the United States Constitution is a privilege. Not a right. Just so everybody's aware.
So you would agree that they should be able to vote on interracial marriage?
I said no.
But it's not.
Because it shouldn't be an issue.
But it's not explicitly written in the Constitution.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I guess that could arise.
So you're saying, wait. So now you're saying if Alabama wants to vote to ban interracial marriage, they should be able to do that because it's not explicitly written in the Constitution.
You asked if I thought it was wrong.
Well, I think where we're going with this is, like, again, the logic, like you are drawing lines just like, this isn't really like a line drawing exercising thing where you're like, slavery's bad enough, interracial marriage, maybe. Like, abortion rights are the reason, like, people think it should be federally protected. I live in Georgia, right? We have a 6-week abortion ban. Half our counties don't have OBGYNs, right? Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, like, a lot of doctors are getting up and they're leaving these states because it's hard to practice here. There's very vague and confusing laws. Governments are threatening to criminalize you. And so in Texas, we see, like, the maternal mortality rate in Texas increased 56% from 2019 to 2022, compared to 11% nationally. Like, the maternal mortality rate right now is roughly, meaning any woman who dies while pregnant, while giving birth, or shortly after birth, the maternal mortality rate is like over 40 per 100,000, where Canada right now, it's 8 per 100,000. Like, the United States right now has the worst maternal mortality rate in the developed world. And in abortion, like, states with heavy abortion bans, it's getting significantly worse. Women don't have access to basic healthcare because doctors are leaving these states to practice elsewhere. And we're seeing really tragic results of, like, women who are having to miscarry in their car. Deborah was 22 weeks pregnant in Florida with her second child when she found out it had a fatal defect. 2 doctors said she needed an abortion. Claim was denied. She carried the baby to term in severe pain, fell into a depression, couldn't take care of her other kid. The baby was born, survived 2 hours on the table, struggling to breathe, right? Her life was ruined. Or the 7th grade girl in Mississippi was assaulted in her own backyard. forced to carry the baby to term, and now they have their family is taking care. A 7th grader has a child with someone who assaulted her because the nearest abortion clinic is in Chicago. Or Kate Cox in Texas, who was pro-life and had an unviable pregnancy, and her life depended on getting an abortion, and a federal judge agreed, except the Texas Attorney General, aka the Republican-led government, said, nope, sorry, I think we're going to overrule that. So she had to go to another state. So when you combine things like the access to healthcare being really, really bad and these really tragic stories happening in what's supposed to be the greatest country in the world, that should be something that's not up for debate. That should be a federally protected right, because a woman in Georgia should not have significantly worse health outcomes than a woman in New York.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. You definitely should be able to have access to it if.
Well, having access to abortion is like fundamental to having access to healthcare.
Okay. Well, the next thing I was going to point out that is along the same lines is what you're saying with the states deciding. Now, don't shoot me down a rabbit hole. Just listen. With the transgender affirmation care for Harry.
Okay, let's get to see you.
For minors without parental consent.
It's not a thing.
But sure as fuck is in Minnesota.
What?
Well, I'm so glad you said specifically Minnesota, because we have somebody on the live who's from Minnesota. Hello, Wall.
You can.
Shona!
Look, he's actually a lawyer, so he will know a lot about the law.
Great. Maybe I'm wrong. Please educate me if I am. What I understand, and then you can explain it to me, is you can go to Minnesota as an aunt, uncle, and say, I'm taking custody of this child because they're not getting good care at home. They're telling their daughter, their son, whoever, no, you're not going to get this affirmation care. And Minnesota can tell them, oh, well, yeah, you get the child now. Is that legitimate?
No, they don't get to take the children. So it's a refuge law. So if it's a minor who has somebody who has legal rights to custody for them, so they're able to get care. So it's not like they can just run away to Minnesota and then get all the care that they want. They have to be somebody with legal custody here in the state.
Because again, I think that fundamental question comes back to, like, let me ask you this. If you say, should a minor be able to do it at all? Just backing up. If there is a scenario in the United States where there is a child, a guardian, a doctor, and a psychiatrist all in a room, and they say, we all agree that this procedure is good for the child. Everybody's in agreement. At what point does the federal government have a right to infringe on that? Again, I feel like the party of small government, like I feel like a conservative, almost a conservative up here constantly arguing like the federal government has no right to be in a hospital room with you. I don't care what that decision is. I don't care if they're 16. If the child, the parent, the doctor, and a psychologist say so, where's the disagreement? Just because the federal government wants to? Just because some people feel uncomfortable with it? That makes no sense.
I agree. Okay, thank you. Why should anybody be involved in other people's lives? Why is this even a debate?
Well, that's exactly why we're voting for Kamala Harris, because she's all like a lot about freedom. Like Donald Trump is all about like control over women's bodies with abortion, control over who you love, who you marry, all this stuff, raging against the woke left that doesn't exist, where Kamala Harris is like a lot about freedom and letting people make decisions with their own body, letting people make decisions with who they love, giving them the ability to like chase the American dream by giving them tax cut. So yes, I'm glad we're in agreement.
Real quick, I want to clear up the misconception about Kamala leaving it to the states. I was in Dean's Live when this happened, so the disconnect here is that Kamala wants to reinstate the protections of Roe and Casey into law, which means that up to the point of viability, so generally 22 to 24 weeks, there's no state interest. And then after the fact, after viability, that the states do have interest. So that's what Roe and Casey protected. So after the point of viability, states could have their own laws about that. So we're talking about roughly 1% of all abortions once we get past that threshold. And so that power would still be retained in the states, which was the standard under Roe and Casey.
Okay, you're right. So I told you, Harry, I didn't know exactly what was said, but yeah, okay. I appreciate you clarifying that, because I don't agree with if the shit happens and it's a bad situation, Well, either way, well, you do you, but up to 20 weeks, okay, cool. But I really strongly disagree with anybody in a late-term abortion, absolutely, and I will not change my stance on that.
What about if it's a medical emergency?
Right.
No. I told you that before. Rape, incest, and medical emergencies, life of the mother.
So the grape and incest ones, those ones happen before 24 weeks.
Correct.
There's nobody who's waiting until the 9th month that says, "Oh, I was raped. Get rid of the."
I agree.
So now we're arguing over, the 1 yard line is these post viability ones, and I would agree that again, morals are subjective, but I think it's entirely immoral to abort a healthy fetus anywhere after viability. But the problem is once we let the government start injecting themselves into that situation, we end up with the Amber Thurman situations where rather than the medical provider feeling free to operate in what's in the best medical interest of their patient, they have to now hem and haw and talk to lawyers and try to come up with a care plan that's not going to cost them their license or land them in jail. And I just don't trust the government enough to be involved in that decision-making process.
Well, I'm a Republican I'm on both sides. As for, I have feelings and beliefs that I agree with on one side and feelings and beliefs on the Republican side that I don't agree with. So there's just certain big points like tax laws and things like that. I want the best for everybody. I want people to do what they want to do, and we should just stay out of each other's lives. That would make the most sense. But hey, who am I, right? Either way, I did have one more question for Law, and I can't remember what the hell I was going to ask him. What were we talking about?
Help you so far.
Minor surgeries, abortion, Minnesota law.
Soda!
By the way, Chris is sitting over there playing gunfight right now.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at my computer. I'm trying to do actual work, trying to help Kamala Harris win. But
yeah, so what he's doing is actually setting up a CMG team.
You're literally built.
Stay mad, bro. Stay furious. Chris is furious, by the way. He's texting me off the screen. He's like really mad.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna leak Harry's number. Everyone, get ready. If you get me up to 1.5 million likes, I'll leak Harry's number. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. I'm kidding, guys.
No, he's gonna do it. He's gonna look. Somebody in the chat. Chris is so immature. Sorry.
Oh my god.
They're confused. Sorry. Go ahead if you have the question.
No, you're good. You all, myself included, but you're against government and interference with the abortion thing. Why is it okay for them to tell us that we have to sign up for the draft or we go to prison?
I'm 100% against the draft. I don't think it's okay. I think that forcing people into any form of service that they don't desire to do is immoral. We have things like conscientious objection and other exceptions to the draft, but I imagine that if the draft were ever to be instituted, there's going to be a big upswell against it. I just don't foresee that becoming an issue.
Would you enlighten the chat that there is, in fact, the ability to enact a draft?
Yeah, currently, I mean, I think they're saying there is no draft, which is accurate. But if there becomes a time where, wartime, that the draft becomes a necessity, they still have the ability to implement it. And right now, only men have to register for the draft.
Yeah, correct. Which I don't agree with forcing women to register for the draft at all, if that was even a topic. But I think that if it should be on both sides of the aisle, we should not be threatened with 20 years in prison if we don't sign up for the draft. Selective service is what it's called, but you get what I'm saying.
Yep, I'm with you.
Oh well, I appreciate you having me up. I'll let you go. I'm going to go to work.
All right, sir. Have a good one. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Be safe, all right?
I appreciate the clarity. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
be safe.
it. Now everybody's going to go to Chris's live that he's about to start in just a few moments here. He's going to go have some debates. So we're going to all send you to Chris's live.
I ain't say all that.
And
Hey.
Yeah, so everybody, Chris is going to go live in just a few.
Bro,
we're going to head over to his live.
Why are you doing that?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh my.
Well, Chris is.
Chat. Listen, really quick, important. If you don't follow Harry or I on Snapchat, you should go do so. My Snapchat is the same as my username, Chris D. Mowrey, Mowrey. Harry's Snapchat, what is it, buddy?
Well, I actually changed
nobody cares. So again, if you guys want to follow me on Snapchat,
Harry J. Sisson. It's the same.
Harry,
it's the same username as my TikTok.
If you want to follow Harry's Snapchat, he does have spicy.
It's Harry J. Sisson. Same username on all platforms. Harry J. Sisson on Snapchat. But Chris is about to go live. He's going to go do some baits. I think that's the case. While I'm going to go to the Peloton. It's my least favorite day, leg day, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. Nobody can hear you, by the way.
You do have spicy content on your Snapchat. Is that correct?
Do I really?
Is that? I mean, you're trying to promote the OF.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh.
I want to see some Harry lifting videos.
Yeah, that's right. I'm in full agreement here. Harry, I don't think the DNC told you, man, but you're gonna have to pivot. The people aren't liking you anymore, so the DNC is moving you to OnlyFans. Sorry, bro. Sorry, man. Sorry, bro. You don't have a choice, man.
Sorry.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Well, Chris is going to go live now, guys. So if you want to go check out his stream.
Saying that.
Are you not going live? You're not going to go dude, the people want to do some debates. They want to listen to some debates. Are you not going to entertain them? Wow. I think everybody should unfollow Chris right now. Come on, Chris. Go do Chris. Just do a live for an hour. I'll be back because I'm going to go. Oh, is he leaving? No way, bro. Or maybe he's texting me angrily, being like, "Oh, dude, why would you say that?
What are you doing to me?
Why'd you do it to me?"
The people are speaking.
Listen, sorry. Here's the deal. I will go live for an hour if everybody right now hits the follow button and goes follow me on Snapchat, Chris D. Mowrey. Go follow me on Snapchat, and if I get 100 followers, adders, I don't know how Snapchat works. I'll go live. I'm a horrible person.
You're a terrible human being. This guy's a terrible person. No, Chris is just going to go live anyway because he's such a nice guy and he wants to entertain the people. While I go ride the Peloton, so then we play a gunfight later. Dude, gunfight, say Black Ops 6.
Stop talking about. I ride the Peloton, bro.
Did I ever told you I lift?
You do not lift, bro. I promise.
Yeah, I do.
Listen, you need to try. Actually, I can't say that, bro. Never mind. All right, I'm gonna go live in 5 minutes. Everybody, come to my live. Thanks, Harry Law of the Wild. Good to see you, buddy. You'll be on my live probably. I love you.
Probably. I'll make my way over. Good to see you, Harry.
Good to see you too, man. We got to get you up here for longer. We keep ending it early.
I know, yeah. Every time I've joined up, the past couple of weeks, you're 12 minutes later, you're done.
I know, dude. We'll make it happen earlier next time.
All right, man.
All right, have a good one, man. See ya. Everybody, we love Law of the Wild. He's fantastic. Law of the Wild's great. So yeah, Chris is going to go live in just a second, but I have some people to thank on Venmo Cash App. Hold on. We're going to speed run. Andrew, thank you for the $1. Love you lives, but can y'all decrease the time in between guests? It's 5 minutes of debates and 20 minutes of BSing. We want to see Maggie get poo. Yeah, I mean, we have to read all the... We want to make sure we're addressing everybody on Venmo Cash App, so that's just the only time. That's what takes the time. But yes, we'll try to reduce that. Raul, thank you for the $5. Voted blue in Texas. Next is MAGA, making Abbott go away. I love that, man. Thank you for doing that. Avery, thank you for the $2. I shared your debate with Emily Austin with Hofstra students. Lots of support coming your way. Thank you, Avery. I appreciate that a lot. That means a lot. Thank you for doing that. Bren, thank you for the $5. Harry, I'm so proud to claim you and Chris as your Texas mama. I'm also excited to announce I'm still strong on daily on getting new registered voters for Kamala here in Texas. 11 more days to go. We can do it. You're damn right we can. You're damn right we can do it. Sydney, thank you for the $2. Don't read this aloud. Okay. Sydney, you got it. We'll make that happen. we got it. McKenna, thank you for the $1. My apology for being so forward. Still love you. You don't have to apologize. Are you kidding, McKenna? I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Never apologize. Sydney, thank you for the $1. There you go. Exactly. I agree. And Casey, thank you for the $2. I love to ask this guy if mandatory vasectomy should be voted on by the state. Would have been a good question for sure. And then finally, Logan, thank you for the $1. I appreciate you. Let me join you in Black Ops 6. Let's make it happen. Mary Ellen, thank you for the $1. Harry, please tell Chris to STFU. I love your hat. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mary Ellen. Danielle, thank you for the $5. Thanks, Harry, marching to the polls with HBCUs. Love that. Chris, thank you for the $3. $1 shooting my shot. Very bold. Very bold. Brandon for the $1. Eat this dollar for protein. Smart man. I like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in between. Chris is about to go live. Chris D. Mowry, I think Law of the Wild might be joining him. So if that interests you, head on over there and say hi. All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys. I also post on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat. All of those links are in my bio. It'd mean a lot if you can go to all those links and follow and subscribe and all that good stuff. And of course, tomorrow is Friday. So have a good rest of your week, good end of your week. Enjoy. Stay strong. We got this. 11 more days until the election. Let's keep fighting. Pedal to the metal. Let's convince every single voter possible in every single state. We got this, all right? All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Talk soon, and I'll be around. All right. Bye, everybody.